Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome members for today's discussion on recent amendments in labour laws and case laws related to labour laws. For this we have most eminent speaker Sri Ram K Navaratna sir. So I request Ram K Navaratna sir to please come on to the dais. I welcome you sir. Labour law is undergoing many changes, like 4 codes are going to come very soon. So for this, we thought it's very relevant for chartered accountants to have a glimpse of what and all changes will be happening. So for this we have arranged this seminar. So before we start, a small introduction about today's speaker. Mr Ram K Navaratna is postgraduate in social work from Karnataka University. In addition to his PG qualification, he is holding Diploma in Labour and Administrative Law, Diploma in Personal Management and Industrial Relations, Diploma in Training and Development. He started his career in the year 1982 as Personnel Officer and rose to the rank of General Manager HR. He has rich experience in mining, steel, transport, printing, engineering, garment, granite, food processing and pharma industry. He has 30 years of experience in the field of personal, industrial relations, administration, liaison, HRD and training. His areas of interest and experience are performance management, corporate social responsibility, training and development, brand awareness from employer-employee perspective, building successful working relationships with working teams, statutory compliances and employee satisfaction scores. To his achievements, he is successful HR practicing professional. He has authored more than 11 books in HR field. As an innovative approach, first time in the history of labour law, he has brought 13 labour laws in Kannada song form, which received well attention from HR professionals and Government of Karnataka. And he has also received recognition award from NIPM Karnataka chapter for his literary works of HR. He is currently holding the following positions in his profession: Life Member in NIPM, NHRD Karnataka chapter, Founder Secretary, Kunigal Taluk Industrial Association, and also member in FKCCI and in the Committee of HR and Skill Development Committee. He likes and enjoys in sharing his knowledge and experience. So he has trained more than 45,000 participants on various teams, both in Kannada as well as English. Currently, he is running HR and training services under the brand HR Resonance, and he is the chief executive of his firm. So with this brief introduction, I welcome you to today's session, sir, and the session is over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is nice that every year I have been invited to this institute. It is my pleasure. It means I have been accepted. Okay, I take it as my pleasure. Not only that, followed by Hosur chapter, Sirsi chapter. Okay, even I delivered and did a labour law session. So, of course, for the last 13 years, I am a labour law faculty for Institute of Company Secretaries. As such, more than 40% of company secretaries, they know me because of the association for the last 13 years. Every week, 1 or 2 queries on telephone from all over India will be there for me as far as compliance is concerned. Anyway, knowledge sharing I always enjoy. Well, thanks Mr. Panish for introduction. Now friends, today as Mr. Panish informed, I want to take this session in 2-3 ways. Number one, probably from 2018 to 99, one or two from 2017 also. What are all the labour laws that have been undergone change? Okay, what are all the changes it affected, how it has been impacted, etc., etc. Just touch me not. Okay, followed by that, then case laws. In fact, what we talked, in fact, I have made 25 case laws, but all that I cannot do because of the paucity of the time and all that. Ultimately, I thought you practicing finance people, most of the problem will be of PF, ESI, maybe building and construction workers, cess issue, Okay, like that I thought I have taken about 5-6 cases in the brief, subject to the availability of the time. And also in one of that cases, I will take a Supreme Court judgment on PF wages also, because that is all very relevant. Because wage definition has been defined, it has been a lot of impact, particularly on wage structure and compensation. Okay, that also I am going in a little detail, okay, with 1 or 2 slides more. And followed by that new wage code 2019. Okay, already wage code is passed. Amalgamating the payment of wage, minimum wage, bonus and equal remuneration act. All that has become one law. Already President has given assent, it is gazetted also. And central rules are already drafted. We have filed objection also. So now we are waiting for the commencement date. Once it comes, then it becomes a law of that. You particularly as a finance people practicing chartered accountants, it will have a lot of impact on wage definition. Okay, earlier worker, manager, supervisor, that was there. But in new wage code, there is no any differentiation. Whether manager, whoever will be there, all that will have an impact. Wage definition is given there. So that part, after peer, under wage code, that part I want to throw light on that. And followed by that, if time remains, another about, as I said, cases are there, 1 or 2 cases, just touch me not, highlight, I want to do. This is what, as far as my presentation is there, my kitty. I think at the end of each session, I would like to take a question answer, or at the end, whatever you decide. Of course, in between that road, one small break is also there. This is what my kitty. Okay, with that, once again, thanking for the organization. I want to commence my presentation and the deliberations in this topic. First, I will take labor law amendments, whatever so far happened in brief, so that knowledge will be also updated. Some you know, some maybe, otherwise it is as a clarification way that will all happen. So before that, I want everybody to sit straight, loosen your body. One small clapping we will do, and with that we will start. I request all of you to please sit straight. Okay, loosen your body. All of you are here, not physically. Yes, sit straight, loosen your body. Yes, clapping. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So like that in all the session, okay, whenever I say clapping, we have to do the clapping exercise as well as refresh also. Okay, all at a time we have like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Anyway, thanks for your involvement and cooperation. Now, particularly after this new government, I mean Modi's government when it came, you know, among so many laws, they said duplication of law, all these laws have to be scrapped, so many thousands together laws are there, minimize, okay, simplify, take out Inspector Raj, of course Inspector Raj earlier also started, take out this Inspector Raj, okay, those were all the views. In that direction they started work also. Number one, first as far as in the year 2017 and one of the major act, because nowadays everywhere word female are entering into the market, okay, everywhere number is increasing. So therefore care has to be taken. Modern changes are also there. Therefore major change was happened on Maternity Benefit Act. Okay. So earlier it was 12 weeks. Now the major change, it took place for 26 weeks maternity leave. Okay, related to the work from, that will be all there. And also another thing, as you are aware, today it is all modern industries, IT and IT enabled industries. So many of the progressive organizations, they allow their female employees to work from home also. That provision also they have kept, however not mandatory, subject to the employer and employee's willingness. But they brought in that session, there is a major change that will all happen. So 26 weeks it happened. Prenatal and postnatal they said. Earlier 12 weeks prenatal and 12 weeks postnatal was there. So in this about 4 or 6 weeks they made prenatal and balance postnatal. However, that is not a binding. It all depends on the health condition of the employee, female employee, that will be also there. And also the same way ESI has also taken into the consideration. You are all aware, wherever Maternity Benefit Act is not applicable, ESI will be there, or wherever ESI is there, their Maternity Benefit Act is not applicable, you are all aware. Okay. So even in the employees, employee state insurance also, it has got little more benefit, okay, than compared to the Maternity Benefit Act also. So there also they have taken into that. Now another trend today we are all seeing, okay, for us, like I am an older timer, commissioning mother, okay, these are all the new trends. Not only that, heartening news is whenever I go to many IT companies today, I see a lot of the youngsters, young couple, they want to rear any children. No, we don't want. Career is important. Whether we become commissioning mother or we make an adoption, okay, they don't want to rear any children. It is really, heartening news for me when I heard. It means anyway, society is changing. Just I am bringing to your notice. These are all social changes which will have an impact. Commissioning mother also biological wishes to have a child, prefers to get embryo implanted. There also, okay, that will be there. Leave they have given. And also legally adopted child. Okay, if it is 3 months, there also law has provided. Okay, then insured mother 12 weeks of maternity benefit from the date of the child is handed over to the commissioning mother. Okay, that will be also, that is one of the thing. And another thing in the Maternity Benefit Act, you must be aware, for first 2 children, this 26 week is available. If it exceeds to 12 weeks only. Okay, please be remembered. Earlier, where it was 24 weeks, irrespective of the number of the children. Okay, in fact, in Tamil Nadu there was one case. So for third child, company did not grant a leave. Then she went for the case and the case was in our favor. Then the High Court, Chennai, Madras High Court said, no, it cannot be there. Okay, there was no any restriction on children. Okay, anyway, that happened about 6, 7, 8 years back. Now, so 26 weeks, irrespective of that, up to 2 children. If it is more than 2 children, 12 weeks, 12 weeks. Okay, that is one of the things you must keep in mind as a compliance people and all that. And as it is ESI, okay, that will be also there. Having 2 or more 2 children, surviving children, that will be also maternity benefit, that will be all there. Okay. Then another important thing you people should understand, major change in the Maternity Benefit Act. Any organization where there is a more than 50 number of employees, obligation on the part of the management to comply creche provision. They have to provide creche. Don't ask her whether male or female 50 employees. No. It is act is said employees, that's all. Okay? So that is one of the all. Wherever it is difficult to maintain, like Bangalore city and all that in Majestic or anything, if shop is there, where they cannot provide the place. It may be very difficult. Space is a constraint in metropolitan. But in such case they say, joining with somebody or nearby facility has to be provided, that is mandatory. I think this is a boon, okay, for the working women and working fathers also that way. Okay, sometimes why it is only ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಗು ನೋಡೋದು ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ತಂದೆನೂ ನೋಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು, ತಂದೆ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, so that way that is one of the provision is that one must be aware as far as compliance is concerned. This is all about Maternity Benefit Act. And another important thing, as a compliance people you must understand the law mandates. Whenever an employee joins to the organization, employer has to make information or provide information to the employee that you as a mother, you are entitled for maternity benefit of so and so, or in case of abortion or in case of child dies, all that provision is also there in that, but I am not telling you that one. Okay, whenever that will be there, you are entitled for maternity benefit. And also another condition I have not put here, but for information, to get a maternity benefit, and a woman has to work for 80 days. Okay, before conceiving of that, 80 days is a mandatory condition. Okay, had she not worked for 80 days, she is not eligible for that. And also you are all aware, where there are 10 and above employees are there, Maternity Benefit Act is applicable as far as the organization is concerned. Applicability of the labor laws I am telling, that will be there. So therefore you must ensure your clients that if you are helping them with compliance, okay, under this Maternity Benefit Act, these are all the obligations. You have to inform all the employees, make the documentation also to that extent, because ultimately it is a document. In the absence of document, it is as good as non-compliance, you are all aware. Okay, and also act to be displayed, both English and vernacular language, or majority of the people whatever they understand. That is all the mandatory. These are all under the Maternity Benefit Act. So that way it is all good. One other side of bad side of this picture, just now I want to bring to your notice what happened in the industrial area. I mean in industries. After this introduction of 26 weeks, statistics reveal that lot of the employment opportunities came down for the women. unfortunately. Okay, though we say Matru Devo Bhava, act is for the salutation to the mother. So then the Modi government thought, in fact it was a paper news was also there, they want to take 50% of that cost. Okay, government wanted to take 50% of cost if an employer provides maternity benefit act. Anyway, that has not come into the effect, but that was the paper news. Okay, this is other side of the act. So you being a practitioner and professional, just for your knowledge and information. So next in the 2017 May, there was an amendment in Karnataka factories rules. It is already in force, but just I am refreshing you and all that. Okay, they have also made all online, like GST and income tax, whatever that is all, all the returns and what documents, whatever we submit to the factory department. Okay, they have all made e-Suraksha portal, and all the returns, half yearly return, yearly return, whatever we do, that is all online, including the payment of the fees. Okay, that is one. And also one thing you be remember as far as compliance is concerned, under the Factories Act, whenever we commence any factory, before prior thing is plan approval about the stability of the building, all the compliance of water, air, humidity, etc., etc. Stability certificate is mandatory, whether this building will sustain or no, because it is a safety provision. Earlier, once it is taken, it was over. Now it is not there. 1 year for every 5 years, it has to be validated. It means you must insist all your clients that those who are all running the factories, whether own building or rented building, after 5 years, whether stability certificate is revalidation is done or not done. Okay, it has to be done and submitted to the department. That is one of the important points. Okay, and also the fees were also revised. You are already paid a new fee. And amendment fee earlier it was 250, now it is 500 rupees. And license earlier it was maximum 3 years, now maximum 15 years can be done, but even now restricted to 10 years. Okay, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, once you obtain the license, okay, that can be taken. So, but however, a rule has been, it should not be more than 15 years. I think many of the we clients, we advise our clients obtain for minimum 5 years, 10 years and all that. I think 5 years is reasonable. I think 10 years is maybe too difficult and all that. Otherwise, some of the companies, investors, they advise every year to renew. Okay, because it is for them, but don't do that. I think 3 years to 5 years that will be there. Okay, that is one of the provision one can keep in mind. Okay, and also the return of submission of license that is there, because if they are delayed, because up to 2 months in advance is mandatory. If there is a delay, 25% surcharge one has to pay. That is the financial consequences in that. And whenever there is a change in the manager, occupier is one who has got ultimate control over the affairs of the company, either owner or managing director. He should be director, you are all aware. Under the Karnataka, under the Factories Act, director should be board of the director, not address director or only visiting card director. Under the board of directors, he should be there, where normally his name and all to be filed to the ROR. Okay, he should be the director. That will be there. And notice to the all these things we can file online, etc. And another important provision that they have made is safety officer recruitment. As you are aware, Factory Act deals for the safety, health and welfare, you are all aware. Safety officer, various provisions they have made. Very rigorous provision, how he should be appointed, how he should be there, etc., qualification that they have made. And also the medical officer, wherever in hazardous industries. Hazardous industries means under section 2CP of Factories Act, whoever, like chemical industry, pharma industry, they are all called hazardous industries, where safety norms are very stringent. Okay, accident prone, they are all there. They are no medical officer, now they should be available all the time. Earlier only part-time, everything was there. It should be in the premise, now it should be near the compound, all that will be needed, ambulance provision, etc. Those are all the new changes as far as Factory Act is concerned also. Now till this December end, I mean 2019, I think you are all filed annual return, renewal, everything was due, wherever it was due. In the while filing the return, form number 20, okay, annual return allowed for is a payment of wages format was there, that was mandatory. Now just 15 days back, Director of Factories has issued a notice, circular, that form 4, since that information contains in form 20, form 4 you need not file. Okay, that is how it becomes redundant. Otherwise, only form 20 under the Factories Act, which has come into the effect. Okay, henceforth, whenever you are filing the factory annual return, okay, that one has to keep in mind. Another change it took place in 2017 is, you are all aware, which you are all concerned. Administrative charges have been also reduced. It is already in effect. It is a old law. And also Women Service, Housing Loan, Prime Minister Awas Yojana, etc. They were all new schemes introduced in PF. I request all of you to please inform about your members, and members should take benefit of that. I mean PF members, individual employees. Very good facilities are there. It is not only that payment is mandatory, no doubt. We as an employer, we as a professional, we are very clear and we ensure. But at the same time, where depending on the need and requirement, we should inform the employees also, members. We should make them to avail the benefit at least as and when need will be there. Okay. And also as far as Government of Karnataka, they have also taken a lot of steps for inspection by ease of doing the business. Earlier, some of you might have also faced a problem as and when they wanted, they used to come for inspection. Particularly in Labour Department, 3-4 hierarchies are there. Okay, in multiple inspections by Labour Inspector, Labour Officer, ALC, DLC, all that used to happen. It was a big headache for employer. Then employer all insisted, we all association made. Then they said, if at all they want to come to the inspection, prior information should be there. Okay, so with prior information and random inspection will be also there, or at least once in a year, one inspection will be. The tip what I want to provide you, if any inspector has visited your organization in 1 year, if any second inspector come, you raise an objection. Okay, you raise an objection, ask sir, already inspection is there, why again this repeat inspection? Okay, is there any notice whether I should mandate? Please ask, don't worry or don't hesitate. Okay, nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen. Okay, there is a change. Okay, that is one ease of the doing business. And Child Labour Act also, it is a very stringent act, you are all aware. Okay, that is when taken change. And law 2017 and there was an amendment in earlier we used to call it as a WC, Workmen's Compensation Act. Now it is being changed as Employees Compensation Act. Okay, earlier only workmen, clerks, they were all covered by restricting the wages to the 4,000 rupees. So in this amendment, it was made to 8,000 rupees. I mean, whatever the compensation will be there, that will be computed based on 8,000 rupees. Of course, table is there. Factors are also there based on the age and salary. So that will be all that has been made. And also, time of here also like Maternity Benefit Act, it is mandate to inform the employee. Okay. Again, here you are all aware. Wherever ESI is there, WC is not applicable. EC is not applicable. But above the over and above 21,000 excluding ESI, for everybody this act is applicable. There also we have to say, in case of any accident, we say employment injuries. Okay, employment injuries during and in the course of the employment we use. If any accident or death, amputation, anything it happens. Okay, so he is eligible for the compensation. He or she, whoever will be there, that information is also mandated to inform, and also you are all aware, under the labour codes, the various abstracts will be displayed. Okay, like your payment of wage, minimum wage, maternity benefit act, contract labor, both English and vernacular language. This maternity benefit act as well as EC abstract is also, and Child Labour Act. Many of the time in compliance audits I have seen EC Act and Child Labour Act is missed, but that is also mandatory. So authorities may take advantage of that in case of non-compliance. So this act has to be also taken into care. And also there are certain forms and all that. So that's what his rights have to be informed. And earlier penalty was only 500 rupees. So now all the new labour laws, they wanted to take out prosecution. Now we employers need not worry much about prosecution. Okay, prosecutions have been slowly everything taking out. Financial complications, I mean financial implications, they are all ensuring. So here also from 50,000 to 5,000 to 50,000 penalty they insure, and 3,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Okay, wherever thing will be there, non-infringement were there, so that is what ensured. Okay, and next is you are all aware, payment of the wages act. Anyway, under the Code of Wages Act, payment of wages has gone. It is all merged. Anyway, that I will take it later. But just for the information, from 2018 August, 24,000 was enhanced. Okay, from 18,000 to 24,000, and all bank payments. However, cash payment is also allowed. It is not that cash payment is disallowed entirely. Okay, that was a change in that. And next was the gratuity in 2018. Enhanced earlier it was 10 lakh. It now max is 20 lakh. You are all aware. Okay, which is your most common subject. And in case of delay for the payment of the gratuity, 10% simple interest payable for the cases where gratuity interest is not paid within specified with effect from 2017. I mean, this 10% effect has come from 2017 October. So, you as a professional, keep in mind gratuity no sooner an employee leaves within 30 days, okay, gratuity payment has to be made along with all full and final settlement. Otherwise, my experience, whenever I do audit, go to the organization, the employers, they will take their own sweet time. Okay, kal denge, aaj denge, after 1 month, finance is not there. Oh, what is urgent? First you will release all the thing, then gratuity and pay and all that. In case employee objects, okay, then it's a problem. It attracts 10% interest, financial implication is there. So that one must keep in mind and avoid, be proactive in that. And another important provision in ESI, everywhere I tell and I really salute this act because which you must inform all your clients and employees. People who are above 40 years, if they are ESI member, annual preventive check is there under ESI. Okay, that is all. They check free of cost. ESI is no whether 1 crore, 2 crore, even if it's spent, it is a free for the member. Okay, other than his contribution, whatever he pays, and company employer pays. Okay, their annual health checkup is there, including BP, diabetes, heart, whatever that will be there. And within the next 2-3 days, he or she will get all that reports online. So, if any of your employees, members or anybody is there, please advise them, make use of this ESI, annual medical checkup, go to the beautiful hospitals are there, everywhere including Bangalore and all that, they must make use of that. So, earlier 18 districts were covered, now almost all districts are covered. There is some more changes are there, I will come subsequently. Next important provision, earlier retirement age was 58 years. Of course, during last regime of Yediyurappa, he made government servant 60 years because funds were not there to settle the government employees' salary. That time he made 60 during his previous regime, not I mean before these two governments, one or two governments. So, but anyway, then the Karnataka government also, as per the, you are all aware, all industry establishments, as far as Karnataka is concerned, where there are more than 50 employees, Industrial Employment Standing Order Act is mandatory, applicable. What is the standing order? It is nothing but a service conditions of the employees. Okay, all that mandates. So in that, one of the condition is retirement age, one of the provision as the employee service manual. So earlier it was 58 years. So from 27/3/2017, now age of retirement is for all industrial employees 60 years. So wherever already certified standing orders are there, it has to be get amended. Okay, most of the standing orders now they are all getting it amended. My sincere suggestion to you, any of your clients, if they have not done, please advise them to get it amended. We should, revalidate it. Okay, and also the whoever employees will be there, all that they have to be retired on attaining the age of 60 years, not 50-80 years. And also in Labour Welfare Fund, usually in the month of December, you are all aware. Okay, earlier it was 6 to 20 rupees were there, now 20-40 is there. In fact, December, I think most of your clients have already paid Karnataka Labour Welfare Fund. Okay, 60 rupees multiplied by number of employees who are all there. Okay, it has to be paid. One thing I would like to bring to your notice here, many of the people are aware, or even if they are aware, chalo theek hai, welfare measure, why we should do. This is Labour Welfare Fund is applicable for only workman categories. Supervisory and managerial, right now in Karnataka, not applicable. So as an employer, if I say, I have got only 25 workmen and I have 5 supervisors and 10 managers or vice versa, I need not cover for managers and supervisors. Okay, so it is not a mandatory. And also further thing, where there are more than 50 employees, there only welfare fund is applicable. If any of your clients are less than 50 employees, you are not obliged to deduct. Okay, these are all the provisions you must keep in mind. But however, since it is a small money, welfare for the people and workmen, many people are, okay, they are all gracious and all that. Anyway, it is a welfare measure. So therefore, we don't give ill advice on that. If you are doing, please continue that one. But wherever employees number is huge, like IT companies and all that, there no financial consequences should be there. Latched together, it will all come. So therefore, that is a big saving, and not only rather than saving, I say right approach. Okay. Then the next is the payment of bonus act. Okay. Annual return which was there, now they made online 1st February. Earlier it was immediately after November, I mean after 8 months, December was the provision, they made online, and before the 1st February, they have made it mandatory annual returns. And also in that all the information has to be provided, but whenever any inspector comes for that, okay, during the inspection, he shall require the production of the documents, accounts books, register and other documents, if they are maintained in the manual form or in electronics form as the case may be. And another thing to be aware, you are all aware, of course now it is all e-loca or everywhere electronics. All the records under labor laws are allowed to maintain under electronics format. But only condition is they should be in the format. Not Excel sheet or any word sheet or anything. It should be all in the format. Okay, that should be there. And also that is what allowed as far as those things are concerned. And the next another big hit was Minimum Wages Act 2017 December. About 32 or 37 industries minimum wage came in Karnataka. Almost 70% enhancement was there. Okay, during my last session here, I deliberated on that, but even I'm just giving. So followed by this, many of we employer went to the High Court. Okay, we put an objection and the High Court went. Unfortunately, we lost case in the High Court. Okay, now we wanted to go for a divisional bench, but somehow there was no consensus in the employer, and since it came, okay, it was a big hit. But only thing now, of course, this was old PPT, but here what happened, the government of Karnataka, when they give the judgment, they came out a very good thing, they did not reduce any wage. Whatever government has fixed, they said it is right, number one. Those who have not paid, failed to pay, whatever from that day of 2017 December, they directed to pay with a 6% interest, retrospectively. Okay, that was one big hit, number one. But at the same time, one or two good points also court interpreted and gave in favor of the employer, we employer. Number one, what the minimum wage they said, those who have completed more than 1 decade of service, I mean 10 years and above, for every 1 year there should be 1% enhancement that was made mandatory. Court struck that one. No, it cannot be done. It is not the duty of the minimum wage to say. It is the discretion of the employer. So that was one struck, that is one important. That is what we call service seniority allowance they introduced. That was struck in that. And also it is applicable to the contract labor also. Be aware whether you take on contract or for contract. Okay. So whatever you take, that is all applicable. And social security, that was also there. In that notification, what government said, it should be paid on minimum wage and all that. So court said nothing doing. It is not none of your business to interfere in that. Okay. It is none of your business. Nothing to do with that. It is all employer's responsibility that they say. Another important thing which you must be aware. So the Karnataka High Court, we must thank really the court because inspectors' hands were curtailed. Wherever the DA or cost of living allowance we say under the Minimum Wages Act, it is higher. In such case, every year, whatever that every April there will be CLA revision, minimum wage revision will be the revision, I mean CLA, based on the cost of living allowance. That need not be paid. Wherever wage is high, CLA is higher, if had employer has been fixed, it need not be taken. So this is one of the very important points you must be aware as compensation and connecting to the figures people. And also trainees, they said under minimum wage you need not do, but however 75 to 80%, okay, trainees wage can be fixed, that will be also there. And equal wages for equalment, that is already there, and through bank account, yes, definitely that will be all there. So those are all the changes under the Minimum Wage Act, which are all currency. So whatever 2-3 points I said, even now April is fast approaching, because whatever salary revision, compensation, restructure, all that will be there, or union negotiation or any settlement has to be made. If at all you are gracious enough to pay to the employees based on your performance or company performance, all these facts one must keep in mind, act accordingly. Anyway, about this new laws, I will show separate slide. As I said, they wanted to merge all the 33 or 34 laws, bring the 234, Code on Social Security and Welfare. It is already come in the parliament. Model shops and establishment also they have already introduced. Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, they have already taken model rule, but whereas Karnataka government still it is not taken. We are fighting why you are not taken. Under that, where there are less than 10 employees, Shop Sector Act is not applicable. One need not take registration. But yet we are awaiting for the Karnataka. Next is Code of Industrial Relations. I will come to that. These are all the laws Government of India wants to amalgamate and bring only 4 laws. Some additional information relating to these changes. I say the Maternity Benefit Act, because it curtailed the employment of women. Therefore, government that time proposed, I mean before this election, what I mean, during last regime, government said they are likely to pay employer salary. I think in due course it may come. Then ESI funeral benefit was 10,000 rupees, now it is 15,000 rupees. So you also advise your employees or people, if a person dies, ESI member, okay, he will get 15,000 rupees funeral benefit. Supposing that member has nobody, I mean no parents, nothing, no family members. In such case, what happens, friends may do or relatives may perform funeral. They can also claim this 15,000 rupees. Of course, subject to providing death certificate or that formalities. Okay, 15,000 that will be there. So they should be aware. And another important problem in India, we are all fighting with the unions. Unions recognition is we don't do normal. Because of that, lot of industrial relations problem, cut, violence, strike, all these things will happen. So for so many years, unions are also fighting. Please make a law for the recognition of the union as a bargaining agent in your company. Okay. So government is also hesitant. We employers are steadily against that one. We feel we may curtail our rights and all that. Our hands may be tied. So therefore, Trade Union Act, national level recognition of trade union, recognition at state and central level initiated the process. Yet law has not come. Okay, I request all of you to please file your objections if there is anything and all that. Unless you file objections, you make a cry. Okay, nothing would happen. Unless the baby cries, mother will not pay, give the milk. You are all aware. Okay, this is all going to come. Those who are averse to the union. I don't say all are averse to the union. Advantage and disadvantages both will be there. Okay, that is one of the provision. And West Bengal deemed renewal in shops and establishment. Now, like in Karnataka, every 5 years we have to renew the shops act. Whether it is barber shop, whether it is IT company, okay, whether it is doctor shop, where there are more than people, chartered accountant also, if there are more than 3 or 12 people, shops act is applicable, you are all aware, your offices, okay, they have all taken out renewal, deemed renewal, okay, once it is all done. Okay, Tamil Nadu also shops establishment, 30 days was the maximum accumulation of leave. They announced to 45 days. Whereas in Karnataka it is 30 days annual, okay, I mean accumulation of annual leave will be there. Because many times CAs and company secretaries they will ask around what is the accumulation, what we have to make, encashment, what is the provision. There is no provision for the encashment of leave under the law, under any law. It is our employer's welfare scheme, over and above 30. But 30 is mandatory where the employee can retain. Then the next important, the Provident Fund 2018 functionality of filing nominations. Okay, earlier we used to submit hard copy. Now 2 is very important form to nomination form it is called. Okay, now it is all e-sign based. Okay, that is good move. It will happen patapat. Then pensioners portal also they introduce. Any pensioner can go through and see all his pension, whether payment is made or no. Even the employer has made a payment or no. All that will all see. Okay, and to facilitating ease of doing business, online functionality, calculation and payment of wages. 14B interest, AQ, EPF for bilateral remittance, all that they have all done. Auto challenge you are already experiencing and all that. Okay, one need not go to PF office, all these things there. And Form 5A, that is all management information. As and when changes will be there. Okay, whether manager, director or address, number of employees, company structure, private limited to public limited or merger, acquisition. Okay, all that was mandatory. Now it is made online also, Form 5A. That is one of the mandatory things, okay, which you must be, and periodically in your audit and in revalidation process, one has to check that one. Then Pradhan Mantri Yojana Prasthana Yojana, even now it is discontinued. It was very good move for so many lakhs of people and employer got benefited. And okay, 2000 for 3 years that was there. Then wage analysis of contractors for contribution variations. Particularly in PF, it is a very serious act. Provident Fund, one must keep in mind. Employers don't, no problem, because we employers are very sincere, we pay and do all that. But whereas contractors, particularly labor contractors, vendors, they make a lot of tamasha and all that. Their variation will be there. PF has got direct access to verify the structure and all that, whether it is any variation is there and all that. If there is a lot of variation, then they will interfere and give all that. Okay, that will be there. So the lesson, what I want to tell you here, particularly your vendors, contractors, particularly the manpower suppliers and all that, please ensure their compliance is in order. Okay, there will be no any disorder and all that. Okay, that is otherwise finally consequences will be there. And next under ESI, dispensary come branch office, delivery mechanism in every district. They have simplified a lot of these things. Anyway, ESI. Okay, primary medical service and cash benefit delivery they have made. And a modified employer utilization dispensary. Okay, they have made. And stakeholders participation in primary care services, employee they have made. Hired premise furniture, equipment and medicines by ESI, then one should own, that they have made to extend the benefit. Okay, and manpower and supervised functioning of the dispensary they wanted to give out. Umang under ESI also, I mean member can view everything. Then what is their now motto? ESI Chinta Se Mukti. Okay, Chinta Se Mukti is the, and VIP, IP is our VIP they say. IP is insured person. Insured person is VIP they say. In fact, I objected when I went to the office. Why only IP is VIP? We are employer. We are paying more contribution than employee. Why you are discarding us? I had a fight with. I raised a big voice and fight. Why you are not respecting employer? Why only the IP? Anyway, that is not a matter. Just Chinta Se Mukti that will be there. Friends, one thing. If any employee falls ill, maternity, medical, heart surgery, any accident and all that, whenever anything happens, okay, particularly during the employment period and during the course of the employment, whatever first aid or hospital treatment, depending on the severity you provide, quickly provide with the prior intimation and permission with the dispensary, then finally, refer them to the hospitals. Okay, under ESI the benefit is every patient will be borne by ESI. You as an employer don't take. If you take and later you go for reimbursement, big process is there, they may disallow running pillars to post and all that will all happen. So this you please advise and take benefit. Under ESI I quote one case in West Bengal long back, about 5-6 years back, one of the workers had there 64 multiple operations. 64 multiple operations, 1 crore 13 lakh something was the total expenditure. All that entire thing ESI bore. No single pay from his parents and all that. It appeared they give big advertisement. Okay. So the point what I am telling, ESI is very good. Okay. So therefore with all proper support, rapport and information, make best use of that. Okay. God given opportunity and we are paying for that. Okay. That's what the thing. And next, Government of Karnataka, last year they revised all the fee structure without doing any service. Okay, we had an objection for that. Okay, shops and commercial establishment today you are all aware it is very hefty, very hefty. We can't expect any single piece of service, but none of the employers have objected. Better object. Your association is there, your thing is there. Okay, if you do that, there is no any service. Why employers should pay? Multinational companies, okay, they pay, but small employer, entrepreneurs, startups and all that, why they should incur? Shops and establishment, Contract Labour Act, Interstate Migrant Worker Act, and Building and Other Construction Act, all these fees were revised. Anyway, that is already in operation, it is in the online. And changes in ESI Act, employees registration within 10 days, there was a big issue because if you don't do then they stop. Now again it is all resolved. But anyway, my advice and suggestion, you must inform all your clients and employees that no sooner the employee comes, whatsoever may be the urgency of the work, first make all these entries. All the entries. If there is a bad luck of an employee, after going in 1 hour he may die or some accident may be there, unfortunately. Okay, ESI from the day first hour to first minute ESI will start. Even PF also for your information. So therefore that is one big advantage. So therefore unless that entries are made, okay, employee takes, don't allow anybody, okay, that is one thing. Then contribution, okay, 42 days, now they have made within 42 days you have to pay the contribution. But one point is still not clear because late comers what happens? Late payments. Still clarity is not there. Okay, then employees whose pay range is more than 176 rupees per day I am talking. But then the employee's contribution will be paid by the government. However, employer has to pay. Then the employees will have to collect. Now earlier days there is a Pehchan card was there, like the ATM card and all that. Now they have taken Pehchan card, e-Pehchan they have made now. Okay, e-related, all over India, that is accessible. That is really good move. Okay, that is good move. And earlier we were aware, this when about 3 years back, wherever ESI was implemented all over Karnataka, all the areas. So Wherever dispensaries are not there, what they make contribution they reduce. You pay only 4% instead of 6.75%. Now, in view of this, what is that? Some other Ayushman Bhava and all that. Now they have all removed. That was 51B. Okay, that is from 24th December 2019 they have made. So there, wherever dispensaries are not there, they have Ayushman Bhava and all that. They are all extending. But therefore, the employer has to pay whatever the new contribution that they have to pay. That is a new change. And next, very important under the PF, which is a very burning subject and very important. Okay, all professionals must be aware. New definition. I don't say it is a new definition. Same thing. We recalculated the employers, made a lot of changes and all that to save the money and all that. Therefore, we went into the problem by Supreme Court. Anyway, I will take that next thing. Then the coverage from 20 to 1, already Gazette is there, even Jammu and Kashmir they extended. However, we are waiting notification for the implementation of this. So far, PF is applicable for the organization where there are more than 20 and above. Okay? Henceforth, it is going to be 10 and above, subject to the implementation date. Otherwise, already Gazette is there. That is one change. Okay? We are awaiting for that. Then recent Government of Karnataka change. Government of Karnataka has exempted all industrial establishments located in SEZ areas from Industrial Employment Standing Order Act. Okay, it is nothing but a service condition, I say. Yes, not all the laws. Okay, please remember, not all the laws, because this question is many times asked by company secretaries and CAs to me. All labor laws are not exempted, only industrial employment standing orders for 5 years, subject to the condition, like they have to form internal committee for prevention of sexual harassment, grievance system. Whenever they dismiss, they have to inform. Then there should be a mechanism to address the grievances, etc., etc. Okay, so those are subject to that. Okay, so SEZ exemption they have given. Then a very recent amendment in January, again Employees Compensation Act. In previous slide I said it was for 8,000 rupees calculation. Now they have raised to 15,000 rupees. It means even managerial cadres are also going to get compensation in case of death and computation and all that. 15,000 is the limitation, subject to other conditions in WC Act. This was one major change. We really welcome. This is a good move. Okay, because now cost and everything is enhanced. And some of the legislative reforms under the labor laws, which is very important. Now, as I said, there are 4 codes government wanted to make. Okay, based on the National Labour Commission advice and all that. Labor code on wages, wherein payment of wage, minimum wage, bonus and equal remuneration act. All that they amalgamated and made one. I am going to talk on that. Then labor code on industrial relations. So draft is already there. There in Trade Union Act, Industrial Employment Standing Order Act and Industrial Dispute Act. All these put together, they have made one thing. And next one is labor code on social security and welfare, wherein Factory Act, Mines Act and Building and Other Construction Workers Act. All these put together, okay, they have made one. Then code on occupational safety, health and working conditions. Okay, there is no Factory Act, Plantation Labor Act and VOC. Sorry, not earlier. In this labor code, Factory Act, Plantation Labor Act and Building and Other Construction Workers Act. Okay, they are all merged and made one. Okay, these are all safety and health working conditions. Okay, these are all the new laws, they are all going to come. Now, as I said, Code of Wages is supposed to be effective, but recently about 15 days back, I read a paper statement. Now, this new government want to bring all these 4 codes together, implement. Okay, they are working very hard on that. So, therefore, yet Code of Wages has also not come into the effect, though already President has assented and though it is gazetted. So these are all the new laws going to come, merge of same thing and into the one. And also again some of the reforms in Shrama Suvidha portal they have made as far as central government establishments. Okay, particularly Shrama Suvidha, it is all centralized, one Suvidha is there wherein all returns can be filed. And whenever any inspector conducts inspection, within 72 hours he has to file that inspection report on the portal, they can see. And whenever they want to make any inspection, random computer tip will be taken with prior intimation, that will all go. Okay, all those are the advantages. Now they are asking all the states also to enroll and do this one. So therefore they are bringing transparency in that. And they have allotted LIN number also. Okay, labor identification number. And also the transparent labor inspection scheme in the central sphere. Okay, and also online return. Okay, particularly some of the establishment where we say appropriate government is central, it all come under the central sphere. Regional Labour Commissioner, Government of India, or Resident Labour Commissioner, Government of India. Okay, online return that they have made. And another important provision under this law is common registration, like PF, PSI together, one registration. Okay, so that government already they have started, they have given government of Karnataka, India has published the figure also, how many they have taken and all that. So henceforth, if we want, we can have that one also. Common registration under central acts, namely building and other construction workers, interstate migrant workers, contract labor act, all is put together one. So a lot of simplification and easy and avoiding inspector Raj, okay, those are all the changes that they have made. And license under two central acts, license, those were all registration, now license also interstate migrant workmen and contract labor act, okay, together one license they can make. State integration also, some of the states have already opted this one, yet Karnataka is not done because Karnataka government has no time. Okay, they are busy in other thing and formation of the cabinet and all that. So I think we as an employer, we should prevail upon our people representative to please act and help the industries and the employees for all that. And also the data is being shared with the name allotted to the number establishment and for the labor establishments also. That is one of the important thing. And next important thing, I think you as a CS, it is a good point for startups. For startups also they are all encouraging, particularly the central government, facility for exemption from labor inspection under 6 central labor acts. No inspection, up to 4 to 6 years they are proposing, good particularly for the startups and all that. Just they have to submit one self-certification is the thing. And the state and under central governments also they have been advised to regulate these inspections in the matter, particularly for the startups. For more details you log on to their central government labor thing and you may get more information. Okay, 4 labor laws integration for the inspection, that is good for the startups. Then major steps taken by the EPFO, 3 important acts. Online facility for UAN generation by the worker. So far it was all in our hand, employer. The employee was under the mercy of the employer for all UAN number. Now worker himself with Aadhaar and all that he himself can make. Okay, that is one good advantage. Then EPF pensioners PPO DG Locker application. DG Locker you will get all your things if at all you want. Government of India. There also they have integrated with DG Locker. Then e-inspection digital interference of EPFO with the employers. Here one important thing for you CA people is, you are all aware under ESI and PF, once we take, we cannot opt out. Opt out provision is not there unless the company is really closed. Okay. In such case they have to submit return. They should go on submitting nil return. So that was all laborious, filing manually and all that. Now they have made all that inspection e-way, e-inspection, digital interference of EPFO with the employees. ECR they have made. I think that one can make use of that. That's a good move by the PF. Then some of the ESI, rate of reduction in ESI contribution. You are all aware. Earlier 3.75 and I think 6.5 was there. So now they have reduced drastically they have reduced with effect from 1/7/2019. New thing. So at the same time, benefits were not reduced. That is very important. Benefits they have not reduced. Benefits are maintained. Same thing. Okay. Contributions, that is what important. Then health passbook for ESI beneficiaries. Online they provide. That's good. Health record. That's what I said. Even the 40 above employees, those who can there, they can avail that one. That is one major step. And insured persons ESI from newly implemented areas where there are no dispensaries. Okay, to get treatment under Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri, Jana Arogya, okay, that they have introduced. It means there is under these schemes you are all aware, it is a cashless. It is a cashless. That they have made, provide benefits particularly in non-implemented area. I think this you must bring to the notice of non-implemented areas wherever it will be there, that is one of the important things. Then Central Board of Trustees for the year 18-19, 8.65 interest they have already declared. Okay, I think it is a good rate of interest compared to other thing under the existing thing. And another important Labour Department initiative is National Career Service Project. You are all aware, Employment Department comes under the Labour. Okay, like earlier employment exchanges were there and all that. So the ministry implementing national career service, okay, where projects are there, skill enhancement schemes are there, vocational guidance, okay, information on all skill development courses, apprentice, internship, etc. All that will be all there. Okay, so one can make use of all these online facilities, access directly, career centers, and also the cybers are there, etc. Stakeholders they can platform include job seekers, industrial employers, employment exchanges, training providers, educational instructions, and placement organizations. I think this one must be use of it. Even recently, Nirmala Sitharaman also in her budget, they said any new engineer, if at all they want to go for interns, at the end part of the curriculum will be there, they have to take internship and all that. So they want to attach to all various private sectors with 1 year, public sector, all the projects including rural areas. They want to give the internship with free and all that, then they give the certificate. So that way it is good move for skill enhancement, and our younger people can get equipped. Okay, there was other thing. Then filing of Form 4 not required under the Karnataka practice rules. I said payment of wages return was removed. Only Form 20 annual return online, that is all made. The very recently Director of Karnataka has issued order on that. And so far they used to insist hard copies also in spite of filing on return. Now this also they have removed, no hard copies. Okay, that will be otherwise adukoskara department ge algaagಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that they have removed. That is one good move. Okay, so these are all certain changes, okay, as far as the labor laws are concerned. So most of them, in my opinion, they are all very good, useful for all that. Anyway, spirit has to be understood. Any law, we have to understand the spirit behind that. Once we do that, that will be there. Okay, friends, that is all about as far as existing labor laws. Okay, most of the things are not chota bata form and all that system. Lot of things have been anyway. That is all available online and everything. That will be all there. Department has also improved a lot now, not like earlier days. Okay. So with that, now next few one or two important cases I touch upon, giving only the glimpse. I am not going into the details. Okay. Then with that I will go for Supreme Court judgment on PF, wages, whatever that will be there. That I will take. So before that, one more clapping we will have. Sit straight, loosen your body. All of you are here. Okay, yes, clapping. 1, 2, 3. All together you have to come. Okay, all together. Yes. 1. Thank you very much. Okay. Now I have touched upon very important 2-3 cases. Just a glimpse I want to provide you.
Shall we keep the questions for later or we can ask now? Some questions if there are, should we ask as we go along?
If you want to have now I completed amendments. If you want to ask anything, you can ask.
So on encashment of leave, you have said that it's not
There is no law as such.
But if I remember, it said that if the employer is terminating the employee, in that case they might have to pay.
No, that is for the payment of whatever the balance leave he has, that he has to pay. How much he has to pay on ordinary rate of wages, that's why law is already clear is there. I am talking of encashment of leave, scheme, continuing employees. Now law says 30 days is the accumulation under the Shops Establishment as well as under the Factories Act. Okay, over and above of that, what we say we HR either utilize or lapse as a first instance. But there are many certain employers, they provide encashment as a welfare measure. Okay, so for that I say there is no law.
And this government paying the employer contribution for 3 years, that's from April 2018, is it for existing companies also? Like if they hire new employees?
3 years that was under the PF, now that scheme is discontinued. PF earlier days on Prime Minister, that scheme they brought. Okay, now that they have they discontinued. But another one I said something where that is for something I said for one thing I said employer is going to some there the daily wages 176 or something. There I said now. There the employee's contribution government will pay. Not on the PF that was there, now that is discontinued.
When discontinued?
I think last year that date I will tell you. It is already, that is PMY they used to say employer share. Government used to pay for the new employees of PF.
Yeah.
Lot of companies they got benefited. In fact, government has declare the figures, how many they have done it now. Last year only it was. Date if you want, I provide you later.
How can be salary 176 rupees per day because minimum wages is
Yes.
there?
That one.
Government is there.
Yes.
Practicality is not
Yeah,
possible.
you have said, in fact, that question we also asked, that is there because it is a contradictory. Okay, when minimum wage they say 12,000 or something and all that, when that will be there, still that question is there. But you know, most of these areas you are all aware, public sector and government is a culprit as far as implementation of minimum wage is concerned. In fact, this will be brought to the notice of ministry. How that will be there? Okay, we have no any reply. I think shortly they may take that. Okay. Now this, any other thing before I go to, as far as amendments are concerned?
So since that bonus act,
Uh,
so if the company is running on losses for continuous 3 years or 5 years, this payment of bonus is mandatory.
a very good question. This question is asked for since immemorable years. The what bonus act says, in the first instance, whenever any establishment commences, first 5 years or after completion of 5 years, 6th year financial year, payable in 7th year, unless there is a profit, okay, exemption. Okay, in between any profit, government employer is obliged to pay. First rule. Second rule, subsequently, under any years, in spite of the loss, okay, incurred by them under the ABC and all that, whatever that competition has allowed under that, the employer is bound to pay minimum 8.33%. That loss still continues even under the Code of Wages Act also. No exemption or nothing.
Either profit or loss, 8.5.
Yes. Minimum has to go. There is no any exemption or there is no anything for that.
So all the employees from the worker category to
Pardon?
or all the employees from director to worker.
No, again, a bonus is applicable for whom? There is a figure is there, 21,000 and below. 21,000 below, subject to 7,000 or minimum wages, whichever is higher. You have to keep that in mind. Whether he is director or worker. Again, internal, ಒಳಗಿನ ಸುಳಿ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ ಸುಳಿ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. Okay. So that's how you have to do.
So for wages or salaries, the denominator for working days of the month, suppose only there are a person work for 20 days in a month, denominator will be into 20 by 30 or
This is also a very good question, lot of debate. What our suggestion and my understanding, I don't say our understanding, my understanding. Wherever people are under minimum wage or workman cadre, okay, workman cadre under minimum wage, those will all come. For them we suggest take divisor 26, okay, for all others 30 days. For example, now February 29 days will be there. Like that 30, 31, 28 will come. So other than minimum wage cadre, workman and all that, for that whatever that month the days will be there, divide by that, per day one come, multiplied by that it has to go. That is what our suggestion.
Maternity policy has to be displayed even in the software companies?
Yes. What is the difference between a shop, factory or office? Nothing will be. It is for the female employees. It is for
It will be available in the e-portals. Even then we have to display it outside.
e-portal. That is not say there is no any exemption as such is not given. Okay, if you are doing an e-portal, what I suggest for having informed the employee and all that, you make a document and keep that. Keep that. Or as a compliance, I suggest practical way I am telling you. However, there is no any law. Practical way, all these acts are available in the portal of so and so. Somewhere you put it on the notice board, giving that portal and all that. Like the WC and the Maternity Benefit Act, from the day one, take endorsement that I have gone through, seen the policy and all that, signing signature, keep the copy. Tomorrow as an auditors, compliance auditor, government, okay, all that. Tomorrow if your company merges, the auditors will come, they may also ask that. Keep that. I think that should meet some practical way. Yeah.
PF to pay on accrual basis or on payment basis?
Speak it loudly.
The PF to be remitted whether on accrual basis or on payment basis.
What is approval and payment basis?
Let's say if I pay salary for 2 months together, let's say
Ah.
April and May month, if I pay, say employer pays the salary, let's say April and May month together in let's say June month. So now the PF, so whether I have remit the in the month of July, June or in the month of April.
No, arrears together you are paying now.
Yeah,
You are paying arrears together.
not regular salary only, not arrears.
No, I mean 2 months you have not paid, now you are paying.
Yes.
That's what I mean arrears. So, Prospectively, you are paying with the 2 months retrospective salary.
Correct, yes.
Prospectively, you are. I think you have to go to that portal. And portal, it is all there. It is all regulated in that. Because practically, I don't know. I have no any idea about that. Okay, but it will take. There is a provision in the portal for that.
So I will pay with interest or only the PF?
Interest immediately it will not come nowadays. First it will all take, then now it is all computer generated. Shortly you will get interest and damage, it will come. Subsequently notice will come. Immediately it will be not there. Then and there it will not come because they have to compute and tell you what is the quantum involved for the interest and damage. Subsequently it will come, not immediately. At the time you have to pay only the required wage, only payment you have to make.
Are there any grace days allowed previously?
Earlier it was there, now no. Unfortunately no. Earlier days, 5 days grace were there. Okay, now it is not there. They removed I think 4 or 5 years back only. After, because they say we objected why? Particularly small scale industries they are in a problem. We appealed to the ministry. They said no, now it is all online, bank, everything is there, why grace is required?
And if there is, it is the 15th happens to be a Sunday, which is a holiday. So,
Sir, those are all excuses for all of you. My suggestion is, okay, what happens even in GST we are facing problem. On the last day if we go, some or other day either the server will be busy, it will not take this thing and all happen. Some other electricity will fail, all that will happen. Our suggestion is, before, don't wait for last 15 days, 1 day in advance, do 1 day in
it's for
advance.
the employees' benefit.
But otherwise, they will not take it. Whatever that date reflects, that only they will take. Bank of payment date only they will take. We have no any excuse there. In few cases we faced. Okay, though it was not the employer's real problem, it was a system problem, online problem, but they have not accepted.
But if the company is genuinely not working on those days, then they get.
We have to make pre-plan and do this. Suppose you wage payment earlier, we used to, if it is 7th, what we used to do? We used to pay on 6th as a pro-employer. I think somewhere we have to do that. But department will not accept that.
And if the company is facing a problem, sorry, I'm going a little long.
Yeah.
The company is facing funds crunch. Can they remit only the employees component because under income tax 36(1) VA, 5A or VA, they allow only employees.
I think that there is a provision. Again, it is online because online thing practically personally I am not doing. Therefore, I am really don't. But I think there is a provision because the employer we are denying. We are denying. Okay, for financial crunch, I think there is a real denying provision. I think there is a provision in that. I think online people who are all doing, sir, I think you have to really check them because day to day they are all doing. There is a provision. There is a provision as per my knowledge. Yes.
So you mentioned if a company has about 50 employees, breach is required. A case. If we don't have that facility, what could be?
You can have combined with some like that in your premise. There will be 2-3 employers. Okay, all joined together. You can combine and do that one. That is the implementation you can.
If we don't have it already, what could be the consequence?
But law says you have to do. But law says it has to do. Still, implementation is not started. You have to find out the ways. You have to find out the ways. Because these are all for the welfare and all that for the employees they have done. Okay, you have to find out the ways and you have to prove. Yes, we have taken something care. Okay, at least you have to prove that. Any other? Shall I move?
Contribution to PF. Contribution to ESA, no problem, it is on gross salary. Contribution to PF. Minimum Wages Act, the company.
I will come to sir. Next time to go with PF, what is the thing I am going to tell you? One thing you remember under PF, till 15,000 rupees, whatever it comes, pay. Only in that HRA, that has allowed under income tax is only exempted, rest all is wages, sir. After ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, I will come to that. Okay, next. Okay, please be clear on that. Anyway, I am going to dwell a little more on that. Okay, next slide I will come. Yeah? Shall we go for next? Sir, when your break is there, you have to inform, caution me. Otherwise, ನಾನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಲ್ಲ. When your break is there. Okay. Okay, shall I go for next? I hope you are all satisfied. Okay, any later also you can ask. Okay, now some of the case laws quickly I want to dwell upon. PF, EPF on Supreme Court, number 1, I will show you the slide. And that is one. Before next one is if any construction industry people are there, okay, it comes under the Building and Other Construction Workers Act. All infrastructure, building construction, everything. So earlier they were all covered, construction workers they covered under PFESI. Okay. Under construction workers workers welfare cess, we pay 1% cess on that. Lot of benefits are there, around 14 benefits are available for the workmen. So therefore, then some of the employers they went to the Supreme Court. Okay, when all these benefits are there, why we should pay ESI? It is a dual. ESI is that time 6.5% total. I mean together. Why we should pay? Supreme Court viewed that one. Yeah, I think there is a genuine case. Therefore, Supreme Court gave a stay for building and other construction workers from the operation of ESI till further vacation of the thing. Okay, that is the position, one of the case law. Then Government of Karnataka have already told you 60 years is the age. In fact, which company? Goitage India. Goitage India, they went to the High Court. Okay, case went to the court because some of the employees they were on the verge of retiring. No, 60 years is not thing and all that. They went with all that. Okay, they fought the case and case went against the management. And what the government has enacted the Employment Standard Act, 60 years is the right. Okay, so everybody is a mandate. Okay, you have to fix that. So therefore, one lesson is in all the appointment orders. Okay, you have to incorporate retirement age as 60. Okay, wherever applicable and all that. So that is one. Next very important case, I think many of you chartered accountant may come across this one just for your information. Anyway, it is a 2016 case. Okay, where in apartments, in many of the apartments, what happened? Housekeeping will be there, security will be there. Lot of services will be done. So earlier they used to register the shops and establishment and also contract labor act. In one of the apartment case, Rahij or something, inspector came, inspected, no documents were there, and they are all covered under contract labor act and all that. They prosecuted. Okay, they prosecuted, then they questioned this one. The court case went to the Karnataka High Court. Okay, Karnataka High Court said no, this is a magistrate. What he has done is wrong. He has not applied his mind. Apartment, whatever that will be there, the people who are there, they are under the service to only the apartment people, apartment members. Only number one. There is no commercial activity. Number two, workmen. Workmen conditions are also not going to fill up that one. What is worker contract labor is defined under the Contract Labor Act. Third one, there is no employee-employee relationship. And also the establishment, what is establishment is defined, therefore it is not establishment. Therefore, whatever this is all done, null and void, it is not applicable. Okay, therefore they said, therefore for all 2016 case this is, if you want anybody reference, you can correct from me. Case reference, case itself I provide you. Okay, if anybody wants that one. So therefore, any of the apartments, if it is there, other than minimum wage has to be followed. Okay, that there is no any exception. Please keep in mind. This shops and establishment registration and contract labor registration is not applicable. Okay, that's what 10/6/2016 government of Karnataka High Court has given a verdict in so and so case. That case was between Mrs. Rachana Gopinath and others versus State of Karnataka Senior Labor Inspector 9th Sarkar. Okay, that was the case of that. So these are very important cases which we come across day-to-day basis. That's why I thought these I should bring to the your notice. Now I will take to the PF case. Okay, as I said, I will go little one slide more with that, because since you are all, it is everybody's subject. Okay, Supreme Court on EPF. Somebody asked, sir, what wages you have to pay? Principles for excluding an allowance or payment from the definition of basic wages for Provident Fund contribution. One thing you must remember, under the PF, when it went to the Supreme Court has not taken any legal opinion or it has not dealt with any law. What it is, the definition was very clear from the day immemorial in the Act, what is ordinary wage is defined. But only we employer, to avoid thing and all that, we went in our own way and all that. We made various things and all that. All that put together, came hit and that. That is why Supreme Court interfered and clarified the position. Supreme Court of India in its decision laid down principles to exclude particular allowance, payment from the definition of basic wages to compute the deduction towards Provident Fund. Number one, according to this definition, An allowance payment may be excluded from the ambit of basic wages if it is variable or incentive in nature. And it is not paid across the board to all employees in a particular category or paid specially to those who avail the opportunity. I'll give an example to do this one. It is a legal language. For example, I am a worker. My salary is, let me assume, 12,000 rupees. Basic DA, HRA, whatever put together is 12,000 rupees. And there are other managers, their salary is also some X1 and all that. As a worker in my company, my employer may devise incentive policy or production bonus or some other gift and all that, something movie production quality or something, cushy bonus and all that. So when that will be given on particular occasion, that will be all given to particular category. Normally production bonus we give for the production people, or sales bonus we provide for sales people, or overall thing, overall people will be given once in a time or once in a thing and all that. That will be all given. It is not regular in nature. It is not regular in nature. Okay. Whenever that is given, yes, that is not allowance. That is not allowance. What we did, we employ a special allowance, something we did. Part and become parcel of base. Salary structure it became in my salary. Basic DA, HRA, conveyance, medical, LTA, then what is it, scholarship, whatever, children thing, all that. Then special allowance we introduced. It is all our thing. So what is this special allowance? Many of the employers, they were unable to explain what is this special allowance. No, it is a regular feature. It means part of the salary. Part of the salary. Supreme Court said no. When it is a regular in nature, yes, it cannot be. That is a thing of this. Further, same thing still working. Relying on various judgments, Supreme Court laid down the following tests. These are the tests. Exclude an allowance payment from the definition of basic wages to compute deduction towards PF contribution. Several appeals were filed. Common question whether the special allowance paid by an establishment which employee would be covered in the definition of basic wages. Okay. What is all facts appeared summarized? Number one, the allowance payment should be either variable in nature or linked to any incentive or production resulting in greater output by an employee. It means my salary is 12,000 rupees. Because of some incentive or production or gift or whatever, that particular month my salary was 14,000 rupees, which is not regular. Because of special occasion, I got 2,000 rupees more. Not allowance, not wage. The same is not paid across the board to all employees in a particular category or is being paid especially to those who avail the opportunity. Best example is sales incentive and production incentive, to understand for everyone. Due to this, EPF authorities and appellate have arrived at a factual conclusion that allowances in question were essentially a part of basic wages, camouflaged as part of an allowance. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಮಫ್ಲೌಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಬೇಸಿಕ್ DA, HR, whatever you pay, any of these things if you do that one, that becomes okay, allowance. Allowance is part of basic wages. That you must be aware, irrespective of the category. But however, lastly I will come to that. Although the Supreme Court in this decision, okay, did not analyze the individual components of salary, like BS, they did not analyze. All nevertheless laid down an important fulfilled for an allowance to be excluded from the definition of the basic wages. Okay, by virtue of this decision, what happened if basic wages for purpose of exceeds Indian rupees 15,000 per month, okay, or employers to contribute in this higher amount, that question will be there. Okay, I will come to that. Decision has not dealt with any legal aspect of that. Then, however, one important point you must keep in mind, this case you must always keep. However, in Marathwada Grameen Bank case, there what happened, basic was more than 50,000 rupees. 50,000. Now, PF basic is 15,000 rupees, you are all aware, mandatory. Over and above what was there, during inspection they found, then we raised the question, okay, then employer went to the, approached the judiciary, court has given a judgment in that. Further, PF department has not questioned that one nor went an appeal, therefore that law still prevails. The takeaway here, what I want to say is over and above 15,000, you need not cover under the PF and all that. That they have no right to ask, they will not ask us. Okay? So they have not filed, that's how that will all prevail. So impact of this judgment is what? Okay? there is no such reference in the judgment that it would have prospective effect in Marathwada case. Okay, prospective are generally used for an amendment or a legislation where a judgment is in variety of retrospective. In fact, in many of the CA's forum, in fact, last year, a few months back when I spoke here, then Hasuk chapter called us. In fact, you are derelict, all the CAs they came and presented and all that, whether prospective or retrospective. That was bugging in the mind of many of the employees, particularly the CAs. If at all we have to make a provision, make a budget, keep all that provision, etc., big headache for all the CAs. But one thing, Supreme Court has not said anything. They upheld the law only. It is all retrospective only. One has to understand. But however, for your information, we as an employers body, we approached Labour Minister, Government of India. Okay, we told them, please don't insist for this, otherwise industries are as it is in problem, and particularly for SMEs it will be very heavy. Okay, if you order retrospectively, from prospectively whatever that is there, you go ahead. Labour Minister has nodded his head, but however there is no letter or any of these things. I think PF somewhere they are asking, but not generally they are not asking retrospectively either. Okay, that is the as on the prevailing situation of that. Okay, so that's what and payment by employer towards incentive to an employee would be excluded. Here the answer, in order to exclude any incentive wage from basic wage, it should have a direct access and linkage with the amount of extra output. Very important. That is what I say, 12,000 and 14,000 I give an example. I think other than that better example I don't give. Dispassionate perusal of the judgment would reveal that any incentive or allowance which is intended to yield something extra or additional would not be a basic wages. Incentive would still be outside the basic wages. That is how that will be there. To conclude this one, what I understood and all that, to summarize this PF in a nutshell. Number one, three things we have to keep in mind. Basic wage, basic NDA we say till 15,000 mandate. Normally the minimum wage is, of course Karnataka is the highest, 12,000 odd is the engineering industry wage is there. Follow all minimum wage, basic NDA, pay entire on base PF, no issue. Point number one. Wherever wages are little higher, marginal cases of 16,000, 17,000, 18,000, put till 15,000 basic NDA, balance you take to whatever component you want you take. Department has no objection, they will not ask because you are compliant of stipulated 15,000 figure. Third figure, managers, other supervisors, where salaries and higher and all that. Two sections we see. One is some companies they restricted to 15,000. It means 1,800 only 12% of that they pay. Some sections extended for all as a welfare measure, whatever you say. Department has no issue. Department has no any issue. Okay. So 50,000 above if you are given, okay, nobody will ask. They will ask only 15,000 and below. If that is broken or if that is spread in all that thing, that they will ask. Number one. Now let us assume 18,000 or 19,000 salary. So what you do? 50,000 basic you take, balance you keep in HR. Okay? HR is excluded. Again, as stipulated under the income tax, whatever that percentage, okay, you are all aware. Okay, you are a better person. Okay, that you keep, then PF is excluded. I have one client, irrespective of cadre, they fixed 50,000 only basic and on that only they will for age immemorial they are all doing. They are very safe. They are very safe. Now, one more question. Okay, I came across something. Sir, having done this one for so far, we were giving PF for everybody irrespective of the 15,000 rupees. Now, future, we don't want to do. What to do? For people who have given, you cannot withdraw. You cannot reduce the wage under the PF definition. You cannot reduce. Future, whoever will come, restrict to 15,000.
No, but there was a case which they said that you can still reduce. There was a case, I don't remember the case law. The court said that it's not like whatever the employer was contributing, it was out of gracious. The extra
employer contribution, okay.
Employer contribution.
Employer contribution, otherwise also there is a law. Supposing my salary is 25,000, I can pay on 25,000. The employer can pay or he can restrict to 15,000. Yes. That law is already there.
No, there was a case like all the companies, right?
Maybe one case and all that, but otherwise whatever is all given, that will be a problem. PF will make the thing. Therefore, whatever that will be restrict to 15,000, do that. That is always safer. But one thing, Always remember, whenever any new employee has point number 11, a declaration you have to take. That is mandatory. I was member or not member and all, that is mandatory. Okay? That, why? Because ಇದರ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮುಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಬುದ್ಧ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿದೆ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಹಿಟ್ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? Had he been a PF member, even if it is more than 50,000, he has to be continuing as a PF member. There is a law. There is a law. Okay? So therefore, supposing I am getting 35,000 rupees salary, my PF was there. Now I join new company. Okay, you fixed my thing and all that. Then I can say no PF, or you want to say no, I want to restrict to only 15,000. Then you have to take my declaration that I was not so and so PF member. That declaration you have to keep and further continue.
So, but in his previous company, if he was deducted PF on say higher than 15,000, and then he's joining a new company, can that in the new company can he restrict it to 15,000?
No, he has to be PF member only. That's what it says. He has to be PF member only. Then you can say restrict to 15,000 employer contribution. He can pay higher. That option is always there. He can pay up to 100% of basic. Employer can restrict to 15,000. Then we can do this. That is all. So friends, so these are all 3-4 issues under the PF. Though they look very thick and all that, analyze and keep in mind. So you, whenever you are working payroll and compensation, okay, benefits and all that you are all giving, okay, be clear and don't get trapped. Don't get trapped as far as thing is concerned. Okay, I think, ma'am, we'll take. I think now all people know you also need rest. I think we'll take a break. Due to the break, I'll take your question or something. Have a break now. Thank you. Session. Please settle down. Sir, please close the door. So I request all of you to please sit straight, loosen your body. So after refreshment, heavy will be there. Yes, clapping. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for your cooperation. Now, continuing to the peer. Now, having seen case, what is ordinary wage, what is not wage, what is basic wage, etc. I will show you one template, okay, to understand that what is wage, what is not wage, okay, in the form of one template. So that that will give you an idea of so far what your case is read. Components which are excluded. I hope this is correct. Components which are excluded in peer consequent to the interpretation of Supreme Court judgment. Number 1, wage component coverage basis. House rent allowance excluded. Hadappa anta 100% eligibility. What is allowed under Income Tax Act, you are all aware. Okay, to that extent keep. Overtime allowance in factories, that will be there, excluded. Leave encashment. Somebody asked a question, okay, it is not wage. Because leave encashment, once in a while it will happen. Okay, what are some cases are also there, you don't worry about those cases. Okay, as a finance profession, again you have relevance illa. Statutory bonus excluded. It is. Oh, sorry. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay, now I am coming to point number 4, statutory bonus. I think in word format it might be correct.
Right, sir, 100%
Is talk now? Okay, I think this will okay. Okay, overtime allowance excluded, leave encashment excluded, statutory bonus of course excluded. You need not worry about that. Production or incentive bonus, I will give the example. It is excluded. Then service charges collected from customers and paid to employer. Okay, excluded. Notice pay in lieu of termination, excluded. 1 month wage under section 32B of Industrial Dispute Act, excluded. Okay. So these are all for your quick information. They are not wages under PM. Okay, in a simple way. In other words, again I repeat, other than HRA, everything will be wage subject to 15,000 and below. 15,000 and below, everything. Wherever minimum wage is there, fixed minimum wage, pay. You don't have any much problem. Over and above that, marginal cases will be there. Where it exceeds more than 20, 25 and all that, 15,000 you keep, balance you spread over in HRA and other components and all that. That is how you have to do. This is all about as far as the PF is concerned.
So if the Texas is put in special amounts, when they are overworks.
Now, again I said, first is 15,000.
I understand.
Okay, till 15,000, above 15,000 you do anything. They will not ask. Below 15,000 if it is anything done is a problem. And if they are already covered, if you are paying, continue. Okay, that will be also there. Because under PF let's say you cannot reduce the wage. Having done that with that.
So far, the company where we have worked, let's say everyone's salary is average 2 lakhs rupees per month. Okay. So basic wages is say 40,000 rupees. And the rest obviously spread between HRA and special allowance. So we are not paying any PF on special allowance.
No, that's okay. So I think in your case what happened, it is over and above of 15,000 because as you mentioned 40,000, I think they may not ask a question about that one. Till 15,000 is the PF right, statutory. Over and above that, okay. If we come below less and non-compliance, then only question will come. That will. Even now with this thing also, keeping all this in mind, proper restructure we can make under the provisions. Okay friends, with all that, I completed the PF. Now next let me go for the ordinary wage, which is very important. Short form only, in fact that need a 1 day session. Okay, all that to do that 1 day session we need. But anyway, for in a short form I am providing. Okay. First I will provide you highlights. Then I will provide you one template also for that. Okay, highlights on wage code. Number 1. Okay, it has come into the gazette and already President has assented and already rules have been also framed and came for objection. Objection period is over now. Government is waiting for to implement the date. Once that is there, otherwise it is already ready. Applicability. These are comparison you can see Act, existing and code on wages. What are all the difference comparative statement I am providing. Minimum wages act. Earlier it was applicable for only scheduled industries. Not all industries, only scheduled industries was applicable. Now, code of wages applicable to all including organized, unorganized sector employees. Minimum wages to be paid to all. Under the code of the wages, government is going to come up with wage. That they are called floor wage or national minimum wage or 3-4 zones they want to make zonal level fix that wage. That is the thing. So now schedules have gone, that they will do. That is the provision. Payment of wages act applies to those employees drawing less than 24,000 and they were coming under the claim if there was any non-violence. Under the new law what happens? All employees protected without any wage trial limit including supervisors and managers. This 24 limit has gone. Okay? Under the new wage of code. Next, payment of bonus act. Applicable to 20 or more employees, now this one, and for employees whose wage is not exceeding 21,000 per month. Applicable to establishing employed 20 or more persons with a few exemptions. Okay? Here there is not much change. Only form ABC, computation of gross profit, schedule and all that they have taken out and made very simplified. Earlier we used to take the help of chartered accountant. Henceforth that will be not needed. That they have simplified. Yet we have to undergo that and see. Next, minimum wage act. No such definition of minimum wage must be revised by the central and state government at least once in 5 years earlier. Now, excludes regular employees of contractor for its establishment and granting annual increase and social benefits. Under the Minimum Wage Act, Payment of Wages Act and Payment of Bonus Act. Okay. Next, payment of bonus act. No such provision in payment of bonus and wages act. In case of factory occupier or manager, and in case of they are the responsible persons having ultimate control. And in respect of direct and contract labor for the purpose of bonus, now employer will be responsible in respect of bonus for contract labor. Achha, here one change is there. What it means is, earlier, now even one or two people asked me a question, contractor's liability. Under the new code of wage, contractor is employer. Supposing in my company I engage 5 vendors, I mean manpower supplier, contractor what I mean. Okay. So far what was the situation? If the contractor fails to pay minimum wage and all these compliance, we employers were ultimately responsible. Even further law say in case contractor fails, principal employer can pay and debit to the contractor's account. That is the law now. In future what happens after this law? Contractor is employer. He himself is liable. To that extent it is a boon to the employer. Contractor employer subject to he being registered under code, PFPSI code and all that, subject to that he himself and having kept the supervision at his premise and for his premise, he will be employed. To that extent, this is a boon to the employer. Next, this is payment of bonus act. Next is the same work or similar nature of work. Under Equal Remuneration Act, earlier what was there? To avoid discrimination between male and female. There should not be any started discrimination provided same skill of work, same work. Gandu hendu bheda bhava irabadu anta helta iddu. In this also restrict to gender only in Equal Remuneration Act under new act, expand it to all employees instead of man or woman. Equal Remuneration Act has gone. No gender. Man and woman is same. In fact, we pleaded to include transgender also. Now because they are also coming a lot in employment. Okay, law is still silent on that. In fact, I suggest that why can't we employ these transgender people? At least they can stop begging in all the circles and signals and all that. In fact, one of my contractor friend who is a hotelier, he has engaged 10 transgender. I conducted a session for them. How to the employees, how to deal and live with gender, transgender. Questions about the transgender and all that. Okay, very peculiar thing and all that. But now government is also coming protection of the law for them. Okay, anyway, just for your information, be ready with all that. Okay, next, wages. Different definition of wages under minimum wage, payment of bonus, etc. earlier. Now new law excludes many allowances, but if allowances are more than 50% of remuneration, amount in excess of 50% of allowances will be deemed wages. This is a little complicated. I will explain you by one template. At the end, after this I will show you the template. By reading this one, okay, it will not go into the head. We know all your role and you should be careful henceforth whenever this law comes. Then worker, minimum wages act, payment of wages act, payment of bonus act. In payment of wages act, restricted to employees drawing up to 24,000. In minimum wage act, it is limited to employees of scheduled employment. In payment of bonus, definition of employee limited to the directly employed. Now, under the code of wage, excludes workers in supervisory capacity drawing exceeding 15,000 per month. Defines the employees also covering all categories including supervisory and managerial. Under new bonus act, supervisory and managerial will also going to come. Yet government has to come that particular figure. It has not come. That is a new change. That gender discrimination, again under the new code, Equal Remuneration Act, applies not only to wages related to matters but also in the recruitment. That was the law. Now, restriction in respect of recruitment matters removed. Based on capacity, competency, you engage. Next, time limit for minimum wages revision. Minimum Wage Act to revise at least once in 5 years. Now new law, minimum wages to be revised after every 5 years. Okay, that is the new law. The National Minimum Wage, Minimum Wage Act, no such provision for central government in Minimum Wages Act existing. Now new code, central government to declare national minimum wage universally or different for different regions. State governments cannot fix their minimum wage less than national minimum wage. This is what is called floor wage. Floor wage is called. Here the problem is if state wage is high, If central wage is less, then state cannot reduce, go to the central, higher only you have to pay. It is going to affect very badly to us, I mean Karnataka. Because in South India, Karnataka is in Karnataka, highest minimum wage is there compared to all other surrounding states. So that's why industries are, people say, not coming and prospering. Now they are all going to Telangana and Andhra. Telangana, particularly apparel industry, you have all seen. Okay, so that we are waiting, but government is not yet clear on that. Okay, here there are some hitches. Then disqualification for bonus. Earlier, no such provision in case of conviction for sexual harassment. Earlier, there is a disqualification for riot, loss to the employer, financial loss, moral turpitude was there. But now what they did, if an employee is convicted on the ground of sexual harassment, bonus is disqualified. Good for ladies, it is all. But he should be convicted, not only the charge. Prove agi adagi convict adare, okay. This is one new thing, okay. They have included in that. Then final payment time limit. Mr. Jain's question. Payment of wages are 2 days limit to pay full and final to worker in case of dismissal or retrenchment, not applicable in cases of resignation. Now, henceforth, added the condition of resignation also. Earlier, all is leave encashment, full and final settlement, what we used to say, that you have to pay in 2 days. Now, even resignation, henceforth, even if an employee resigns, patapat within 2 days limit, everything has to be settled. Ivataba, Naleva, come there, we'll see, director is not there, they are traveling, check secretary is not there, okay, bank account is seized, no excuses. Okay, that will be there, new law, there. Claims time limit, minimum wage, payment of POV, minimum wage is 6 months in payment of wages and payment of wages if it is 1 year, extended to 3 years. It is a benefit for the workers. They can file claim. Earlier 6 months we used to disqualify. The very first ground we used to argue before authorities, sir, it is barred time, he has come after 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, it should be dismissed, application should be dismissed at limine. Our first point we used to submit to the authorities. Now under new law, 3 years. Worker can go and fight 3 years. So here one lesson, you all tax and finance advice people should be more in this, otherwise labor problem and employees problem may become more severe and they create headache. Okay, so that one we have to keep in mind. Then inspection, minimum wage, payment of wages act, bonus act, physical inspection by inspectors, compliance enforcement oriented with indefinite, in a defined jurisdiction. Earlier, region 1, division 1, so and so section. Henceforth, it is all EV based. Now, renamed as facilitators. Old wine in new bottle. Okay, they are called facilitators. Our advice kodalla. Okay. Territory expanded. VACO-based electronic inspection introduced to help the employer to better compliance information. Henceforth, it will be VACO-based, no personal thing. Like GST. GST, we don't see anything. Everything it will all go. At least registration and all that. Okay, that's all. So these are all changes. Okay, under the new code of wages. Rules have been also framed. Again, objections are filed. Be ready with this. This is, I am giving you in only in nutshell. Now, what is exactly the consequences? You as a chartered accountant, finance people, accountant, I will show you one template. Then penal provisions are also very high. I am not going in detail because of the paucity of the time. Okay, now it is earlier days we used to argue, sir, don't prosecute. Please remove prosecution provision. Now the employers who do not comply with the other provisions can be 2 lakh, 20,000, 1 lakh, all that, it has gone like 50,000, it has gone. Okay, penalties are severe. Financial liability. I think this should work. We are happy. As an employers, yes, sir, we are ready to pay. At least prosecution and all that, going and standing in criminal case and all that is all over it. However, it is a deterrent to the employer also. In case of non-compliance, it may become very serious. Okay, so this is what in just as far as 2019 wage code. Okay, now lot of literature is available, everything you can go through. Okay, all that you can do. Now, to translate this into practical, very important as there employer is defined, contractor is defined, okay, manager is defined, employee is defined, all that so many things are there. Okay, that is subject by itself. Okay, so now I just to understand this more, I show you one template. Okay, so that I think it will be understood very easily. Consequences you can understand. I have to reduce this one, otherwise. Is it visible? Now? I think yes. Okay, now, just I am giving an example. Now here, wage definition is defined. Very big definition. Departing from all other previous this thing. Now for your information, PF department has taken same definition under 2019 PF amendment. Objections are already filed. This is whatever wage code definition is there, that is henceforth PF definition, wage. That we are aware. Already PF has taken this one. Okay? To that extent, in PF problems will be reduced. That's what we force. Now, I am giving an example. Example number 1. Basic 11,000 rupees. Dearness allowance 5,000 rupees. Retaining allowance 2,000 rupees. Total is what? 18,000 rupees. Now this is all wage. This is all wage. Anyway, government has not fixed what is the minimum and all that. That is not there. But for our understanding, this one I have given. Okay. Now 18,000 is all wage. No issue at all. On this only whatever PF, PSI, whatever that will all come, that will all go. Now there are 1 to A or Z, some equations are there into the wage definition, like any bonus payable under so and so, the value of any house rent accommodation. I have narrated some figures there. Okay, any contribution paid by the employee to any pension fund, any conveyance allowance, okay, any sum paid to the employed person to devise special expenses, house rent allowance, okay, remuneration paid under so and so. Okay, whatever it is the definition. These are all definition part. Left side, whatever description you are seeing, this is all definition under Code of Wages Act. Any commission payable to the employee. Okay. So all that put together. Okay. Now whatever that figure I said, it comes to 31,160 rupees. Example I am providing. This is one example for your understanding. Then that is part A to I. Then any gratuity payable, further definition says it is inclusive and exclusive definition we say. Below these are exclusive. Any gratuity payable on the termination of the employment, any retrenchment compensation or other retirement benefit payable to the employee, or any ex gratia payment made to him on the termination of the employment, they are not included in the wage. Okay? Now, explanation, just for your example, this is the gist. Now, 80,000 rupees you saw in the case, right? Now, other benefits after basic DA, whatever that allowance is there, other things are 31,160. This reminds me, earlier there was FBT, you remember? I think you all see it, you are all aware. What is that? Fringe benefit tax, something was there. Okay, when I was working, I remember that one. Okay, I think similar to that, but not exactly the similar. In other words, 18,000 was a salary is fixed and other benefit like whatever retaining allowance, whatever you call, that amounts to 31,160 rupees. Now, exceeds, what definition said, if it exceeds like 31,600, if it exceeds 50% of that other, then it becomes wage definition is there. Therefore, what I am doing, 31,160 divided by 2, when I make it comes to 15,580 rupees. I mean first part to second part. Therefore, here what happens, 18,000 rupees is the wage, there we say. This other part is 15,580, less than 50%. Therefore, this 15,000, whatever this 31,000 is given, it is not wage. Only 18,000 is the wage. I hope you got clear.
Sir, excuse me, sir. The provision says if the allowances and other exceeds 50%, exceeds 50% of the wage.
That's what I said here. Now, all this 31,000, whatever we said, that is all from 10, we have 31,600 it came. That divided by it comes to 15,580.
18,000, 50% is 9,000. So the allowances, other things exceeding 9,000.
No, that's what I am telling. That's correct, you are right. That's what I am telling. This allowances and all that, they should not exceed 50%. To understand that, an example I am showing. To understand that example I am showing. So figure example.
In this case, wage should be 18,000 plus minus out of the 31,160, we need to deduct 9,000. Balance should be added to wages.
No, I don't think. Let us check that one. But as per my understanding, 80,000 is okay. This what I'm telling you, let me complete this one. Therefore, wage is 80,000 only. This is what. Now, one more example I will. Later we will take that one. Now, example number 2. Okay, just for the understanding, this imaginary figure. Okay, still there is a lot of doubt and clarity is there. 30,000. Okay, let us assume the wage. Then 65,000 are other components. 65,000 2 is 32,500. So therefore 35,000 divided by 2 comes 2,500 is in excess. Therefore this 2,500 to be added to 30,000, then 32,000 will become wage. Additional of that 50% you will go to the wage. So anyway, this is all preliminary. Just be aware, still act is going to come. This is one preliminary example for quick, somebody still one or two doubts are there in that. Okay. In other words, as I understand, this components whatever if it exists over and above of 50%, excess 50% becomes waste. So that's what inclusive and exclusive it is there. Anyway, still lot of things are there. We can debate upon that and all that. That will be there. Okay, this is how one should be clear. So therefore, only thing what I want to drive the message here is when your components are going to be fixed. Okay. One must be careful and all that, see that they should not exceed 50%. That point, one thing you, before fixing the salary, one has to keep in mind. Okay, that is all in the brief as far as the what is this, new code of wages 2009. This is how one must be always keep in mind. So this is all about this PF as well as this code of wages. This is the major, what I say, point. Okay, one must keep in mind. If there are any one or two questions, I'll take that. I'll go for few case laws. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think in that example, if they want to fix the monthly salary of somebody at 50,000 total, then we have to keep the basic at 50% of that.
In fact, that definition, base definition has given all that components. That left side, whatever we said, all that is there. It is all given, clearly mentioned. So one should always keep that as a Bhagavad Gita and the Quran Bible. Keeping that only, we have to fix up, write the figures.
So many companies will revise salary on first April. So they need to keep it in mind.
Yes. This is what my suggestion is there. Act today, tomorrow it may come or not come and all that. Anyway, major changes will be not there. However, some disputes, doubt, clarifications will be there. But at least this is the guideline. Keep that one, operate in this to avoid any future and further problem. And as I said, leave other thing, PF has already taken this definition. PFS department already 2019 they have made, shortly it is going to gazette that wage definition. Once that is there, we must really act immediately, any doubts, clarification, everything has to be sorted out, then we have to go and adopt that one, go in that and avoid the minimum whatever damage or anything that will be there. Okay, so if for this if any one or two questions are there, I will take, then I will go for a few case laws.
What are the acts bridging into the code of wages? And minimum wages act will not be there. Payment of bonus act.
Act will not be there, I am not telling. Minimum wage, payment wages act, bonus act, equal remuneration act, all these four together they made one. Some changes, whatever I showed, these are some change. In payment of wage, 24,000 wage limit was there, that they have taken. Salary should be paid 7th or 10th was there, now only they put 7. Okay, penalty is they revised, employer definition they have done, scheduled industry minimum was there, now they have taken out. Bonus, some of them now they are going to come out with another figure, government, now 21,000 is there. Now because they have covered managers and supervisors, they may come out with that. Then that bonus calculation of form, ABC, computation of gross profit, allocable, something, all that is there, all that they have changed. Okay, those are, and confiscation of the bonus, that they have done. Like this there are changes. Changes means they same all these laws put together, one law, that is called. Then a multiplication of all your records have gone there. Whatever the 1 or 2 registers only are there. If we see the rule, that we will see in that. Those are some methods. Same in other laws also.
So the state state laws will still continue, right? Like the Karnataka Minimum Wages Act will still continue. The Minimum Wages Act by
No,
the
once
state law
once the government of India declared that floor wage or zonal wage, okay, it has to be followed. It is going to be there. Then if state is more, that will prevail. If it is there, then that will become the thing.
Yeah, so still the Karnataka Minimum Wages Act will still prevail.
But implementation authorities will be respect to state only. But on this rules will be there, then state will also fall in line. Code of wages, Karnataka rules. Karnataka rules. Then like that, all states will be there. Already central rules are drafted. Central rules are drafted.
Even though many advantages are there, the Minimum Wages Act is a conclusion. Already these are from state matter as well as central.
No, henceforth, there will be 1 or 4 wages will be there. That is what we are zonal wise. Like whatever wages fixed in Karnataka cannot be in Jharkhand. Okay, cannot be in Andhra because their economic condition, geographical condition, people condition. Okay, it is very difficult. Floor fixing is very difficult. Okay, still lot of debate and doubts are going on. Anyway, we have to wait and see. Okay, it's a very big subject and thing. But however, now 18,000 they are telling, 21,000 somebody is telling. I think in my opinion it may not be less than 18,000 rupees. No wonder if it comes. Okay, no wonder if it comes. That's how that will be there. Okay. Now few case laws only I will tell. I will not go in detail. Anyway, these are all narration. Under the Building and Construction Workers Act, if anybody from construction or infrastructure industry, one of the government what they did, those who are covered under PF, ESI, Madhya Pradesh they did. Those who are covered under PF, ESI gratuity, for them they said this DOC Act provision will not be applicable. That's what one circular they made. So then it went to the court and Madhya Pradesh High Court struck down that one. So excluding workers from registration under DOC Act who receives benefit like PF gratuity through notification of MP Building and other construction workers, welfare board would be illegal. Okay, construction workers, employees, trade, they went and all that. So therefore, my suggestion here is in view of this judgment, those who are applicable like DOC Act provision they have to pay cess and welfare will be there, stick to that only. I have one PF, PSI, why should you don't do that? Many people ask me question, Ram sir, we have taken WC, Mediclaim policy, we have taken WC policy, can we come out from ESI? No, answer is no. Okay, because first law prevails, that's how that will be there. Next, conciliation proceeding, one important point, though it is not directly connected to you. Notice of inquiry by conciliation officer cannot be challenged on the ground that the complaint filed by the person is not workman. One of the employee filed the complaint, management stated he is not a workman, he is a manager. Employer has to participate and submit documents to establish its contention. Conciliation officer cannot decide whether the employee is workman or not. Very important case. It means what I am telling the message here is learning from this judgment. If any notices come from any conciliation officer, labor officer and all, no, he is not a workman, he is a manager, he is supervisor. Why should you bother? We don't go, don't say. Go and appear, submit your statement. Okay? Then he will take, anyway he is not the authority. It will be failed, then it will go to the judiciary, then adjudicate and based upon that judgment decision will be there. Then accordingly you do that. Another important thing, workers' right to demonstration is not absolute and is subject to reasonable restrictions. Sometimes workers make galata, they become militant and all that. Hooliganism cannot be allowed to disturb industrial peace. Okay, whenever any disciplinary action, discipline issue comes, one must be very strong. Then next, employees provident fund. The employer is not entitled to seek refund of EFI dues in respect of employees. Anyway, this is one complicated case, we will not go into that. Then employee, next another one is employer can be allowed to pay EPF dues in installments because of financial crisis. There are many cases and all that, but any employer has to prove, submit and do all that. This is in Alagappa Textile Mills, the Regional Provident Fund Commissioner 2019 LLR L156 latest case. Just for your highlight, details and all that, you have to refer the case. Then correction in date of birth of the employee after his retirement for purpose of enhanced pension under the jurisdiction is not maintainable. I have already said, because that pension will matter. whatever corrections, everything will be there, first only it has to be done. At the verge of retirement or anything, don't allow or don't encourage any of these things. Whatever is declared is binding. That is a Tripta Devi and others versus Employees Provident Fund case. Pending appeal before tribunal, order of attachment of bank account of the employer is liable to be set aside. This is one problem in PFPSI. If the employer fails, okay, and if you don't consider anything and all that, directly they have got a power to attach to the bank account. One biggest problem. So employer should be very cautious in all such cases and all that they have to do, okay, for all that. That is very important. Then this is the case of Scorpion Security case 2019 LLR. Then when 7A proceedings are conducted arbitrarily, employer can seek relief from High Court by filing writ petition. 7A is whenever you do, employer PFA will issue a notice, that is what 7A inquiry for getting and doing that. Then when identification of the employees has been made by the EPF authority, the EPF dues deposited have to be credited to the account of the respective beneficiaries. What happens many times, casual, temporary people we take. They will all go, 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, IRM, BRM, that will be there. PF may insist pay their contribution. But when beneficiaries are not there, where it will all go? That is the problem. So even many cases decide you identify the beneficiaries and accordingly you should do. Okay, that is what the case of Bihar College of Pharmacy, etc. Case. Then once admitted the employment of 20 employees by the school principal having sent the coverage pro forma cannot be denied later on under the PF case. PF you are all aware, 20 and above is applicable. Whatever you give, you delay. Whatever you write, examine 100 times, then you declare. After declaring, then we cannot say it is less and all that. Then no, that is not maintainable. Okay, you are already covered under that. Once you are covered under like PF and DSI, you are all covered. It is like a Hindu Marriage Act. We cannot come out. Okay, that's how that will be there. Then legal aids on expiry of defaulting employer are liable to pay outstanding EPF dues. MD dies, owner dies, cannot be there. Then legal aids who will be there under the legal act? They are liable to pay the contribution. This is the case of Nihal Ahmad and another EPF case of Ranchi and others, 2019 LLR. Then, director of a company receiving salary from the company would fall within the definition of employees under the ESI Act. Anyway, subject to 21,000. Okay, ESI wages, that will be there. Okay, that is in the case of Employee State Insurance Corporation, Venus Allies Private Limited, 2019 LLR. Employees working within compound of establishment or outside, if carrying the work of establishment, will be covered under the ESI Act. What happens in IT companies and all that, they post their employees to various client places. They do the work, third party work and all that. Okay, it is all company work only, outside or inside, whatever that is there. Under PFPSI, you all know it is an extended arm. It is all extended arm. Okay, that is the case. This is in Ramson Consultancy Services case. Then, when survey report of the inspector about employing and found working 20 employees in the establishment is not proved, notice of demand by ESI liable to be declared as null and void. So therefore, whenever they come about your number, giving number, dealing number, always be careful. Even many times what happens, I have come across many cases, inspectors come and write all that number. And they will sign, those people will sign. See, you have declared, these are all the numbers, they say. Okay, but later prove or disprove whatever that is there, the employer has to do and take appropriate steps. When ESI contributions are regularly paid, accident is admitted and no objection was raised by ESI before the court, the employee is entitled to medical reimbursement claim. This is Employee State Insurance Corporation versus Kimmaya, LLR 2019. This is what one of the morning, before the commencement I said. Because he has paid ESI contribution and he met with accident, his wife was not knowing where to go and all that. Therefore, she took her husband to the treatment. Okay, then he took the treatment and all that, then sent the bill, ESI, okay, rejected the bill, then he went to the court. There that court, the ESI did not file any objections. Okay, then court passed the order in favor of employee. Then when it went to the High Court, then High Court said they were not filed any objection and he has paid contribution, therefore he is liable for the ultimate you pay. That is what it is. So that way ESI is very good. Okay, that way ESI is very good. Friends, these are all some of the very important KPIs which are directly related to your day-to-day profession and all that will be there. If anybody wants these cases details, so write me. I will send in detail. Okay, just for this purpose. I have shown you. And the few one or two cases I would like to tell you upon directly. Whenever you discharge any probationer, whenever you appoint any employee, first you go on probation. You are all aware. Under terms of the appointment, probationer can be terminated anytime within or at the end of the probation period. In between, he may commit some misconduct, that is, so you issued some charge sheet or show cause. And there is all admit or whatever, that is all over. And at the end of the probation, you may say your services are not satisfactory, therefore we have terminated your service. Okay, it is called, it is right in the law. Because there is no mention of any disciplinary action which was earlier done. The employer is right. Therefore, the one lesson what I would like to tell you, though it is not your direct area. Whenever any probationers are there, tell all your clients and employees that they should observe properly, make a record, admonish, treat everything. If it is not good, dispense them mercilessly at the end of the thing. Don't extend. Unless he is irrecoverable, remove him. If there is a chance of improvement, then give extension. Otherwise, don't do that. That is one of the case. Then 240 working days. Okay, that one of the cases there. Voluntary abandonment. Sometimes what happens, employee himself will go, remain absent. The employer will wait. Oh, he has not come. Remove him from the door. Stop. He has not come. Though it is not there, it is employer's duty to send a notice, ask him to come, provide an opportunity to come and do all that he has to build. Without doing that, if he says, then the employer will lose the case. That is, the employer has to do that one. Okay. Then loss of confidence. Okay, employer can remove that one. That will be the case. And compulsory retirement of gratuity. Okay, one important point you must be aware. Bonus and gratuity, there is a provision. If an employee make a loss to the employer financially, misconduct, loss to the property, etc. 2-3 clauses are there. Even in gratuity also that will be there. Gratuity can be forfeited in such case. But in one case, what happened? They made him a compulsory retirement because he was a what is this? Food Corporation of India case. This is. There was a shortage of the food grains and gunny bags. So therefore, we have done this one and all that. Therefore, they voluntarily retired him, made him to retire. And gratuity was not ordered. So then he went to the court, approached, then court said, you have not given him any opportunity, you have not followed the procedure there, therefore it is bad, you have to pay that. So therefore, particularly in bonus and gratuity, whenever you are confiscating or forfeiting this amount, procedure you have to follow, I mean show cause, conduct inquiry, prove that, chance has to be given, all that. Otherwise, it is not as it is, one cannot do this one. Okay? Then employer-employee relations in one of the things. What happened in one of the Delhi case, general manager was given a driver. And the driver salary used to pay by this general manager. In many companies, you are also aware, maybe many of our clients may be also doing. Even when I was working, even company used to give me intern, I used to pay to my driver. Okay, then after what happened, all that doing that one, this somehow his salary did not pay, he went to the court. There was some problem. He went to the court, I am an employee of the company, therefore pay. Then the company said, no, he is not the employee of the company, he is the general manager was paying and all that. But there was no proper record. And when cross question came, company also said, no, he is not our employee. But the management did not produce any record for that. Any record or anything and all that they did not produce. You may ask what is the record. Whenever you give the salary to the general manager, you have to say this is all paying, company no way driver is responsible and all that, that they should write. So because of that, that case failed. Okay, employer-employee relationship has gone that way. And contract labor absorption, court has said, okay, it is not, there is no relation, contract labor cannot be absorbed by the employer. So therefore, it is all the contractor who is responsible, subject to all registration and records matter, particularly salary, attendance, okay, instructions, etc. That is all the thing. Okay. Then ESI medical treatment I have already showed. Then about resignation, okay, you must be all aware because day in and day, because many of you are doing service in HR and labor laws also. Resignation position is whenever an employee gives the resignation. Normally 1 month or 3 months depending on the contract, notice period will be there. Supposing I have resigned for my company, that is 1 month notice period is there. So on 12th of April, sir, please relieve me, I may write, or that will be 1 month completion. So I give, but the employer what you do? Okay, Ram, I don't want this idiot. Okay, let me on 10th of April only. Okay, we have taken your resignation and relieved. But on 11th I may say I am withdrawing my resignation. Then I have got, I am right. I am right. Okay, this is what the position of the law. So therefore, when your resignation is there, okay, so always please ensure that, okay, whatever that is there, your safety you see what I am going to say and all. In a resignation. Forced resignation. Many of the workmen, even I have faced 2 cases. I was billed in the court also by the advocates, my opposite advocates. One driver came and submitted resignation. He was a Christian fellow, read 11th standard. He wrote resignation in English. Okay, just I took him. I took the resignation and all that. Later he filed a case in labor court. I was the company HR person. Okay, then judge said, how he can, he is a just 12th fellow, illiterate fellow driver, how he can write English resignation letter. Therefore, this is a forced resignation. Okay, so case went against us. Then we went to High Court. Okay, all that was tamasha was there. So point what I want to say here, whether English, Tamil or Kannada, that is not a matter. It should be written. From that day onwards, I learned, put 2 witnesses. Okay, 2 witnesses and voluntary and all that. There should not be forced resignation. What I mean to say, if there is a forced resignation tomorrow, employee may come back. Okay, that part you try to understand. And gratuity, one of the very interesting case, claim calculation. What happened? Management earned in calculation of the gratuity. They paid more. They paid more. Okay, then after realizing and all this employee is worst and all that, they went to pay. He said no. Then case came before High Court. Then High Court said, once you have given and all that, just because of the error of the management, it cannot be refunded. Once it is given all over, okay, shut up, they said to the management. So calculation and all that, you would have internal auditor, you have checking, cross checking. Just don't go by only Google or Ready Raknar and all that. Okay, once it goes, okay, that is one of the 2019 case. Then Maternity Benefit Act, very important. Contract labor employee or on contract basis, they deny the medical benefit, Maternity Benefit Act. Court said no, it is eligible, whether contract labor or on contractor, maternity benefit is applicable. So the point I want to tell you, all your contractors, on contract, part-time, full-time, whatever, all that is there, you be clear or cautious while appointing. Or, okay, whenever they come paying, be cautious. Okay, you cannot avoid and you cannot deny because law is in their favor. Okay, and prevention of sexual harassment, a lot of cases are there. Nowadays it is a big subject. In the one of the case, what happened, there was no show cause notice. No show cause notice, but it admitted before the committee and all that. Just because not given show cause notice, it will be not, okay, valid. It is valid. That is what the court has said in that. Okay, friends, these are all some of the, in fact I have made 25 laws, but there is some of the very, but basically TF and DS I thought is more useful. That is why I insisted more on that. But other things, but you come across right from recruitment to retirement and all those things. Okay, so all those things everywhere while doing and all that, have a due diligence. Exercise your proper control and knowledge and all that. Okay, don't go documentation part and trust and all that. That is all different. Okay, and be in the legal framework. That will always go well and all that. Now, lastly, 2 important provisions. What I would like to say: recently, Government of Karnataka has allowed women employees to work in the night in the factories. You are all aware. That is why in most of my labor law program, I tell all my female friends, henceforth you be ready, you are going to be engaged in night shift, tell your husband or start your husband to get ready the work, he has to do the lot of work, night shift also, all that I used to tell them. Okay, anyway, jokes apart, that is the reality, henceforth it is going to be there. But Government of Karnataka, based on the Supreme Court, based on the court judgment and all that, they have given subject to around about a dozen conditions. Okay, if anybody wants, I will give this notification. Otherwise, also it is available on the website and all that. We can say like that on night shift, there should be minimum 10 people. Okay, in charge of the factory should be there. Prevention of sexual harassment, all measures should be there. Okay, and they should display all that rules, regulations also there. Working conditions should be there. There should be no hostile attitude and all that. And in case of any criminal case of the employer shall initiate appropriate action. even if it is for outside and all that. The employer shall maintain complaint redressal mechanism in the factory. Sub-complaint committee shall preferably headed by women. Female employees shall be allowed to raise issues of sexual harassment at workers' meeting, and female employees shall be made aware of their rights, particularly by prominently notifying the guidelines of the subject. Whenever harassment cases are there, that when CCTV camera and all that should be around, footage should be there, and the employer shall see that women workers are employed in a batch not less than 10 or 2/3 of the thing. Okay, sufficient women security shall be provided during the night shift at the entry as well as exit point. Sufficient number of restrooms shall be maintained. Separate canteen shall be facilitated for the female employees. Okay, the employer shall provide transportation facility. Anyway, it is already there. Factory shall provide appropriate medical facilities also, depending on the need and all that. Whenever the factory provides boarding and lodging arrangements for the women workers, some companies they provide hostel for girls and ladies. Many of the companies I have seen, 2-3 my clients also they provide hostel. There also, under the control and women wardens and supervisors should be there. Okay, women wardens should be there. Night shift not less than 1/3 of the strength of supervisor shift in charge. Foreman other supervisors shall be women. Okay. There shall not be less than 12 consecutive hours of rest. Rest all 48 hours, 9 hours. Okay, overtime and all that. All those provisions are there. Okay, wardens, the female workers work in the night shift. Provisions for all that. And liberty to employ female workers as a whole or in part during the night shift, provided the above direction be complied with. The employer can engage subject to all these provisions. And the employer has to send a fortnightly report to the inspector about all these women and all that. And also, last but least, it shall be not made compulsory or obligatory for any women worker to work in night shift. Written consent shall be obtained from the women workers who are interested to work in night shift. Okay? Subject to all these things, women are allowed to work in the factory. Anyway, new era, new age, everything, all must be ready. Okay? All must be ready. And the ground is ready. Now this law is already in Tamil Nadu and all that, Factory Act itself is enacted. But however, government of Karnataka, they are very wise it seems. What they have done, this will be first initial 3 years it will be there, then it may be, so they want to see the, okay, what I mean to say, feedback and all that. Okay, that's how that will be there. This is one of the very important. And the next very important notification by government of Karnataka is, all shops and commercial establishment they can work 24 hours. Okay? Anybody wants to make shopping in night? Because morning and evening no time, night you want to make shop, you can. Like Singapore and Mumbai. Mumbai also now there are a lot of hesitation is coming. So anyway, I forgot that notification, but I will not read that one. If anybody wants, I can provide you. They are also almost same similar thing. They have all given. That is what basically Supreme Court is that these are two notifications. Then standing order exemption for particular IT and IT enabled industry. For 5 years from 2019, they have given exemption. Okay, for IT and IT enabled. Earlier also it was there, but it was expired. Now again they have extended for 5 years, subject to certain conditions. Standing order, industry employment standing order applicability. That they have given exemption. So friends, these are all the latest. Okay, these are all the latest thing. Okay, so as far in the area of the labor laws, which you must be aware, and accordingly we should prepare and do this one. Okay. Now, how many of you here not understand Kannada? Please raise your hand. Not understand Kannada. Okay. Then yeah, thank you. Please leave it. Anyway, one context I will show you. This about 4 minutes video is there on minimum payment of wages 2019. I have made a video. I think just for the benefit of this thing, I will show it, display it. Before that, it starts 2 minutes. If there are any questions related to that, I will take. Before it starts, correct. Let us not use the time. Yeah.
Sir, let's suppose one employee resigns and he has to serve a notice period of 2 months. But the employer says, okay, you need just right now. So whether the employer needs to pay the notice period?
Whether
the employer needs to pay.
Employer. Of course, whenever you remove as per the terms of the appointment,
He is resigning.
No, if he has resigned, notice pay. Notice pay. Employer can waive off his notice pay. Employer has got right to waive off notice pay.
But the employee wants to serve the notice period because he has to join, let's suppose, after 2 months here. He takes the new company. But the employer is not ready to give him the 2 months because he wants that, okay, let him go because he might create a negativity in the system. So he says, okay, you go.
Okay, in all such cases, what happens? Again, I said, okay, whenever this resignation, everything that will be there, forcibly and all that, that will be there. So it should be mutually done as far as possible. Legally, it is complicated. Okay, now I will display the video for quick. Is it okay? Because I have written on poem also on that poem. I mean legal thing only. Or else I will not display. Anybody wants, I will send you also. Okay? Otherwise, I will take question and answers.
Yeah. What's the status of intern?
I think I will take question and answer rather than that.
Yeah, how are interns to be handled? If the interns are there.
Interns, I mean trainees.
Trainees, yes.
Training.
In the count of 10, or 20 as per PF, are they supposed to be counted or?
See, now intern is a entirely different subject. As far as there is a provision for the employer to take interns, trainees or apprentices, whatever we call. Then for that, the employer has to write a scheme, number one. Under that he can do. Under standing order also he has to put a clause, scheme of training and all that. If that is there, then PF will not object. PF will not cover them for the PF under the PF Act for interns for a period, not should not too long. But PF will also say if they are trainees under Apprentice Act, no PF, that's all very, very clear. So if it is a company scheme for trainees and all that, they should be covered under PF and ES. That will be there. Only college students who will come for project and all that, with college letter and all that, we provide. They are exempted because that is all part of their education, part of their curriculum. I mean degree or diploma or whatever that will be there. Otherwise all these will be there unless there is a provision in the standing order. That will be there. Yeah, next year.
So regarding the ESA contribution, paying casual labor for loading or unloading, 1 hour electrician, 1 hour job, or crane services, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yes sir, it is applicable, yes sir, even loading unloading also. It is a wage, Therefore, in such case, you hire them through valid vendor. It is their headache. It becomes their headache. Otherwise, it all in your books of accounts should go as a wage.
Yes,
So once it is wage, it is ESI is from 1 minute, 1 hour. 1 minute it will start in your premises.
Yeah, exactly. ESA inspector comes, he is putting
Yes. Yes. On their wage part, liable to pay.
Is there any rule for EL, CL, combining of CL, EL and
There is no CL or SL in the law. But Shops and Establishment Act, Karnataka, in addition to 15 days leave of 20 days per one, it prescribes 12 days leave for any medical treatment or any accident, it says, but no CL and SL.
So, sir, I want to ask one question. During the probation period, let's suppose the employer came to know that there is pregnancy case. So, pregnancy case of a woman. So, and during the period of the probation period, so can that particular employee be removed under some other conditions? Let's suppose he was not.
No, if other conditions are there, why the question of pregnancy has come?
No.
If other conditions are there, questions of pregnancy should not come,
Correct. So, whether that employee can take the benefit of that
See, here two things, one thing you have to understand. Under the Maternity Benefit Act, she has to work for 80 days.
Minimum.
In the conceived that maternity period number 1. And this employee probation means she may be the beginning. Probation is either 6 months or 1 year, whatever that will be there. It is employer's right. If service is not satisfactory, employer can terminate. Whether pregnant, not pregnant, male or female. If service is not satisfactory, during probational, subject to your employment terms and conditions, appointment order, whatever service rules, yes, employer has got right.
But she will take the benefit because
No.
the employee came to...
Terms are very important. Terms are very important. That is important. That is important. She may say, sir, I am pregnant, because of that to avoid maternity benefit, you might take. But if she is in a probation, okay, at the end of termination or probation, if you have terminated, then you can take that one. There is nothing to do. But before that, there must be some document, advice, counseling, what she has not done, how it was bad. There should be some record. It should be issued to her also. It should be in the file. Court will ask any documents before that. Not to say good and all that. Any document, any counseling, any term, minutes of the meeting. For everything there should be a document.
No, so in this case, if at all, if she has conceived during the probation period, but her expectation date is somewhere after the completion of her, but her performance
See,
is...
here his case is different. Here what happens, you are terminating on that or probation. That is the
In
thing.
case of termination or how it is, you mean to say termination, or you're saying that during a probation, if they get to know she has conceived, that is what your question is, right? So during the, his
No,
question was...
pregnancy question does not, that you should not bring that issue at all. Only performance issue, terms of conditions only.
So just
No, she can take, nobody can prevent her. She can take, somebody may advise or ill advise also her.
No,
They can take. But your case should be strong.
If she has conceived, then she can continue. She is eligible because, as I said, at the time of this delivery timing, 80 days at least she has to complete in that organization. That is what during.
That's for the eligibility.
To know, then it is valid.
It is all case has to be seen and acted upon.
Yeah.
Okay, I think more related question. Let us don't have more HR question because this is not HR session. Okay, but just for your information, because you are advising clients, I tipped about that thing.
This PF for international worker. Now, international worker is there. So the PF, I think the rule says that you have entire thing.
Entire wish.
Excluding HRA. HRA can be excluded.
I don't think. I am not very clear. I have not dealt with international workers. I think everything is. We have to check with the thing, particular things. Okay, I think with that. Anyway, thank you very much for your patient listening. No, it is exactly 8 o'clock given to me the time. I could see very interesting audience. Nobody looked at their mobile. Okay, it seems I am successful in delivering my knowledge, whatever that is there. Once again, I thank the Institute for having provided me an opportunity to come and share my knowledge. And last but not least, I may be doing so many things. If listeners are not there, for whom I have to tell. I found extremely good, diligent, listeners. Thank you very much for your listening. Anyway, my address, my email ID, my website is available with the Institute. Some of my friends like Jayan and all are there. Anything you need in this thing, it is my pleasure to available. So when I come down, when it is video is closed, you can take my contact details also. Thank you very much. Thanks for good day.
Thank you so much, Ram sir, for sharing your valuable insights on latest amendments in labor laws and also discussing brief about case studies. So I would like to present Memento on behalf of Bangalore branch. So please give a big round of applause. Thank you, one and all.